Gentlemen, you are tuned into the best night of the week, the best show, Fanatics Live, for the fans, by the fans. I got the panelists with me. I got the experts with me. I got the gurus with me. Only here on Fanatics Live where you get the hot takes that you're going to get. You can look around other places. They might dip and dabble a little bit, but we go in depth. So welcome to Fanatics Live, for the fans, by the fans. I got all the gentlemen here. Let me check y'all out, make sure y'all good. Let me see. The first person typically on is Timmy, but I think David beat him today. Actually, it might have been Ruben. Ruben, I think you were first. Ruben, what's going on to you? Salute, sir. How you doing, brother?
How y'all doing? Glad to see you fellas tonight. We got some things going on in the world that we need to discuss, so let's get it popping.
Got some things to talk about. Got some things. Timmy, what's going on, sir? How you doing? Salute, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing
happy
good.
Belated, by the way. Happy belated, brother. I forget happy belated,
45.
Brother. What?
45.
I need proof, man. I need an ID card to prove that, man. Like, don't.
1977. Jimi Hendrix was still living at that time.
Look at you. You're a guru even when it comes to birthdays and celebrities. I understand. You can't help it. It's in your blood, brother. I understand, man. You good. I'm glad that you're here, man. Celebrating another year. Blessings, my brother. I'm happy to see you tonight. Happy to see you. I see the fresh cut, too. I see the fresh cut. I see.
Did it myself.
Listen, man. Listen. Tell nobody. Let's stay up. David, what's going on, David? How you doing, man? Salute again, my brother. How you doing? Oh, you muted. I don't hear you. I hear you. I see you talking, but I can't hear you, David. Check your sound, because you were just talking a second ago. Get your sound together. I'm going to come to you in a second. Tyrone, what's going on? Salute to you, sir.
Salute to you, sir.
Woo, get that echo.
Get that echo out.
I feel an echo, man. Is that me or is that you?
That's not you. That's David.
I'm good, man. I'm just here watching these Nets kill real quick, which I knew was going to happen anyway.
Okay.
Who is that? Hey, y'all can't be messing up my intros, man. Who got to get your audio together? Lamar, what's going on, man? Let me hear you, man.
What's going on, gentlemen? Good to be back. I know it's been a minute, but I'm happy and excited. And let's talk sports on tonight.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Again, for anybody that's tuned in, you are watching Fanatics Live, for the fans, by the fans, and we are the panelists of experts. Why are we experts? Because we're fanatics. We know our teams. We watch the league. We spend money on them. We know the players. We spend time with draft, free agency. Listen, we're on top of our game. So tonight we're going to start with, obviously, I guess we're going to start with NBA if y'all are up for it, because we know NBA is in full season mode right now. They're getting ready for the playoffs. Teams are, hunkering down, getting ready. And I just want to go around and just see, man, what do y'all think? Who is standing out to you? We got to talk about the Lakers. We got to talk about Memphis. We got to talk about Philly. We got to talk about
all of that.
Did you say the Lakers? Please no. Can we not talk about them?
Who is that possible?
Hold on.
Yo, whoever that echo is, I don't want to kick you off the show, but I might have to until you get your echo together. Who was it you were talking about, Tyrone, that you really don't want
to...
No, I said as long as we don't talk about the Lakers, we good. They not even worth it.
Well, I
will. What is that?
Hold on 1 second. Let me see who I got up. Yeah. So whenever David come on, it's definitely David. It's something with his thing that does that. But I will say this, man. I like Houston, the young guys in Houston, and all of that good stuff. They're at the bottom of the league. They're a bottom basement team right now. They got potential. They got a couple of guys. Jalen Green put up phenomenal numbers, but yeah, you don't lose to Houston, man. Not in that manner and going into overtime. So yeah, we'll talk about all of that. But listen, gentlemen. NBA going on. What is that echo? It ain't even David is not on. Make sure y'all sounding good, man. I'm gonna have to mute everybody for a second. So I'm gonna have to mute y'all, unmute you one at a time because we keep having that pop in while I'm talking. So anyway, so NBA wise, we got obviously Brooklyn face to face, head to head with Philly tonight. Philly, since the trade, has been looking pretty impressive, man. Embiid and Harden, it's been looking good. Harden has a whole new swagger about him right now. He's looking like, you know what? This is where I wanted to be. I seen Kyrie put out a statement talking about, you know what? I wish communication would have happened better, that we probably would have figured some things out. David, let me turn you down. Maybe that's what it is. To see if we can figure some things out. And the truth of the matter is, it is what it is. Now they're on their respective teams. Ruben, I'm going to start with you. Who's standing out to you, man? Obviously, now there's been a couple of games. And can y'all please also let me know what's going on with Ben Simmons? David, I muted you. To see why is he not playing? First of all, let's start with that, Ruben. Why is Ben Simmons in Philly, but he's sitting on the sideline? Is he hurt? What is going on with him right now? Let me unmute you, Ruben. I got you. I forgot I muted everybody, so I'm gonna turn you up right now. Listen, when it's live, that's what happened. But technical difficulties is not what we're experiencing. We just experiencing some background noise. So let me get you in right now. Unmute. All right, we should be good now. Go ahead, Ruben.
Well, the word on the street is he's getting into tip-top shape. Plus, they say he has an old injury. His back was sore or something. Mm-hmm. What they're saying, I don't know really what's going on. That's just what the word on the street is. But
okay,
I think he should be playing. He doesn't set out long enough. You know what I mean? And the Harden thing, yeah, he did it against mediocre teams, and he did it against two of the top ones. But he still has something to show me, because he is a no-show in the playoffs and hasn't won anything yet. So I'm not jumping on that bandwagon just yet. Wow. He's shooting horribly tonight, as you may know, because Kyrie is D'ing him up. One-on-one, it ain't no double teaming. It's one-on-one. No, he's losing that battle because Kyrie is cooking.
He's cooking?
So he's cooking. So I just want you to know tonight's game is real good, but they're losing right now.
I'm glad you mentioned Kyrie, because I seen a whole lot of people really upset that this man did not make that 75 list. And before we go into the rest of the league and how it's going, can we stop there for a second? Because we didn't mention it on the show when we did the 75 list, because we broke it down we broke that list down that day. Is there anybody that feel like there's a reason why should he not be on there? Like,
he shouldn't.
Go ahead, David. Go ahead, David.
It's because his first couple of years in Philly, he was, I'm a great scorer, but I'm not a superstar taking over. It wasn't until LeBron got back that it was really, this is Kyrie Irving, this is a dynamic player that we're getting. And then you turn around and go to his Nets career. First year, he didn't play. Him and KD said, hey, we're joining together, and let's take a timeout so we can freaking get the rest of the roster built in our image.
What about the Boston years, though? We can't forget the Boston years.
The Boston years, the Boston Celtics were better without him. So that's a bad thing to bring up.
He was still a perennial all-star during that time, though.
Not in a playoff series where they could have had a chance to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James. It was the two young guys and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So you bring that on and you bring on all his differences. I don't want to say bad because he's just a different person.
He just thinks different. He beats his own drum. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just a different person. I don't want to say bad, but you look at that and you say, is that top 75 material? If you add him in, I'm sorry. Then you have to add in Kevin Love. You have to add in Chris Bosh. You have to add in all these guys that were good by themselves. But when they got around talent just to load up to win a championship, you was really the third, sometimes even the fourth will. So that's the case with him. Not saying that he's not a special talent. Irvin is ridiculous.
Yes.
But that's how everybody perceived it, and that's why he wasn't on the top 75.
Man, anybody have a rebuttal for that? L, I see you shaking your head. What's your thoughts on that? I know you know Kyrie very well in terms of watching him. What you think? David got some key points with that, or you like, I totally agree?
I kind of agree with David. I have a question. Did Damian Lillard make this list?
He did. He did.
Okay, a good argument could be this. I mean, if Damian Lillard is on the list, how could you not have Kyrie Irving on the list, who's one of the most dynamic scorers in the league in this modern day NBA? But I think at the end of the day, it's a lot of politics behind, the choices that made the list and the people that was left off. And you kind of have to be someone who the NBA can rock with. You mean your personality, your reputation, your history, and when you got some kind of baggage, and we know he made some controversial decisions during a bubble when the NBA was in a bubble, sitting out and things of that nature. So he probably took a hit for that, and along with all the other things that go along with his reputation. So I think that's more of what left him off the list than his talent.
Agreed. I see no arguments there. David, let me unmute you so you can you got the slight echo, David, so I'll mute you in between when somebody talking. You go ahead now, David.
Okay, so to try and compare him and Irvin, they both go about Lillard and Irvin. They both go about their 30 points differently. Lillard 30 points has led to 8 straight playoff seasons. Durant 30 points in his first couple of years without LeBron James led to them picking Anthony Bennett first round, led to them picking on Wiggins first round top pick. So it wasn't as significant as being a scorer. You can be a volume scorer, and he's more than a volume scorer, but you can be that on bad teams. Lillard raised his team's level, and Irvin didn't do that until he got around superstars.
Go ahead, Al. Go ahead, rebuttal.
I mean, I can see it both ways. I agree. But at the end of the day, he is still considered one of today's dynamic scorers in the NBA. Right. So that's a reason why he may be considered. But I think all the other stuff I mentioned before, and what you just added, he doesn't really make his teammates better. Some may say he actually divides teams from the history of where he's went and what has happened everywhere he's gone. So yeah, you make a good point. I was just trying to speak from the perspective of what he's accomplished and letting it be known that he is one of today's top scorers in the NBA. So that's a reason why he should be considered. But all the other things is justifiable.
Now the thing is, players know players. So when Andre Iguodala, who I believe it was, that highlighted and said, "Yo, there's no way Kyrie's not on this list," that it's based on, like you said, the politics. You think there's some validity to that? That when players players know who's that guy. So the fact that he highlighted him single-handedly. What you think about that, Ruben? You feel like there's something to stand on with that, or you still feel like, nah, it's still not enough?
Kyrie, like y'all said, he's perennial talent, top of his league. He has the whole bag of tricks. There's no weakness in his game, but that's not the only thing that makes you a top 75 player. Because when you look at it, you have to be somewhat of a team player. Mm-hmm. He's not. He's his own person. He does what he wants. He don't think of the team. He think of himself. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you
Good
take
point.
the hit for the things that you do for yourself. You know what I mean? If you're playing a 5-on-5 sport and you 1-on-1 on your own, you get left on the island, just like you are now. You're not one of the top 75 because of, like y'all said, Boston really hurt him. Boston really hurt his career.
Yeah, the way that played out. Yeah.
And the way he went about leaving LeBron hurt him somewhat too. Because he said he wanted to be the number one, period. That's
right.
That is
when
true.
he became the number one, he did not produce as the number one. He had to go back and eat those words and say, I apologize. Because he didn't understand what it took to be a leader. He wanted to be a leader when he wasn't ready. He was straight out of college.
Has he matured now? You guys think is he a leader now with this Nets
No.
team? Him and Durant?
Not yet.
Or still not?
He's
Not
still-
yet. Even though now, hold up. Let me set that up and rephrase my question. Putting the vaccination thing aside, because in hindsight, let's put it in perspective here. His whole thing was, I don't want to get vaccinated, right? New York is about to lift their mandate for vaccination. So technically, I ain't gonna say he's a genius, but he's like, no, I'm gonna just wait it out until y'all lift the mandate, which y'all gonna have to do because of the businesses. So put that aside. Is he a leader with that aside, with his personal beliefs on that? No. David, I hope you fix your sound thing, and I'm about to unmute you to let you hear. What up, Cello? Go ahead.
I say no, and I say no because of the primary reason why Harden got traded.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he would go to practice and try and give Harden that work instead of just working with him. You don't have to prove you're the best player on the planet every time you're on the court.
Is that proven though, or that's speculation? Where you getting that from?
No, that's a proven fact, and it's just his nature. And I'm not mad at his nature.
He's in full attack mode. Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's in full attack mode all the time, and that's why he really believes the only person on this planet I'm giving up a shot to is Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant probably feels that same way too. But you don't have to show that on practice when you're trying to build continuity together to make sure that we have everything it takes to win a championship.
That's a fact.
So sometimes you have to bite the bump. If I'm the best player, I have to backpedal. As in practice anyway, I have to backpedal a little bit to make all my teammates comfortable. I have to push them, but I don't have to push them over the edge. He's the primary reason why Harden is not in net today.
But that's Ruben and everybody here, Cello. That's so far. That's so far from what we grew up on. Because Mike killed his players when they practice. Mike ain't care. Kobe ain't care. You see Kobe cursing at Nick Young. And all of that, so why is he penalized for that, for being aggressive like that?
Because Mike didn't play with supposedly top 5 talent all around him. If you look at it, Harden is considered a top 5 talent. If you look at it,
75, Pippen 75, both of them on the list. I don't know. You lost
not scoring. I'm
talking about top 75 players, period. He had 2 of them.
I'm talking about players that can lead a team to a championship. All 3 of them. When you think about KD, Harden, and Irvin, you think all 3 of them can lead a team to a final. Or lead a team in the playoffs.
Okay. David, I got to mute you again because you got the weird echo going on. Go ahead, Ruben.
Practice prepares you for games. So you gotta go hard in practice. To make them know, hey, when we get to this, know what the pressure is like. You gotta go hard in practice. If you don't go hard in practice, how are you gonna know how to treat the people on the other side of the coin? How are you?
Man, is it me or is the NBA? So you know the narrative is that the NBA is soft right now because we got to touch on the Westbrook complaining. We got they're calling me Westbrook. Oh, I'm hurting my feelings. I mean, I get it. I know I sound insensitive. I get it, but I'm gonna unmute y'all. Please have your sound ready because I need y'all to chime in on that because we ended up here that wasn't purposely done, but we are here because David brought up a good point that he's penalized for going hard at his teammates. But then we're looking at players complaining that they're getting called out their name because they're not shooting great. Is there supposed to be a balance now? Are fans overstepping the lines? Like Cello, you a basketball aficionado. How you feel, man? You know old school to new school, and what? How do we?
I mean, the game changing, man. You know, the players are getting more. They're getting more power. You know, so it's just the game is changing. There's only even when you look at the coaches and Greg Popovich, he almost on his way out. You know, he's a tough-minded coach. Yeah. He's, you know, Pat Riley, you know, these guys that they're like, listen, you're gonna come here, you're gonna play, you're gonna do your thing, and you're gonna take whatever hard stuff comes at you. So but going to the Kyrie thing, as because the question was about him being not making the list, right?
It was initially about that, but you can touch on that. We opened up so many doors that we can touch on any of the things.
Yeah, like I look at Miami, like Miami's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? When you come to Miami, you gotta be in the best shape. Miami wants you in the best shape. You gotta actually be at a certain weight limit with Miami. You know, you're gonna get coached like hard. And that's why Miami's not for every type of player. With Russell Westbrook, I mean, man, I mean,
what did y'all
you know,
think?
it's like
Keep it real, Cello. Don't be gentle giant, Cello. Keep it real. Is he overreacting or what's your take?
Say, but I was gonna say this is nothing new though, right? Where as far as people getting threats and stuff like that, we've heard this many times before, right? This is nothing new, right? So I'm just like, this ain't. I mean, he feels like it's more extra when it comes to him, but then it's like, yo, you're not performing. You're not performing. You know, LeBron. I'm hearing LeBron is the one that put that team together. LeBron, the player, the basketball player. Not saying that he's limited to basketball. But he's the one that put that roster together. That's why sometimes you got to let the ones that know how to put the roster together, put it together. You just do your thing. You're doing your thing off the court with all the ventures you're a part of. But sometimes, like even with Jordan, remember when Jordan, he couldn't get a good team together. He couldn't put, even as great as of a player he was, we always knocked him for not being able to put a good team together. And then even when a player came over there, a high school player, that cat was trashing the high school player. So it's like, you know, I mean, the game has changed. It continuously changes. It's all about the product. It's all about the business. You're going to have different players having different mindset, different thoughts about things. That's why Jimmy Butler bumped heads with Chicago and Minnesota. Because he don't care, like he don't care about all this other stuff that other cats care about. All he care about is putting the work in, working hard, getting up at 2 a.m. to work out while other cats is sleeping and worrying about their cars, like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons getting his behind booed in Philadelphia right now, and he not even playing. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on the player, man. Every player is not the same. So some players, they love that. They feed off of that. Off of what Westbrook's going through, some players feed off of that. But some players can't. You're on mute, Press. Mike. You're on mute, Mike.
We can't.
I muted myself. Thank you for that. So Lamar and Timmy, I'll mute with everything to make sure the thing. David, whoever that is, you're killing me today with that. I don't even know if it's David. It might be Timmy. I don't even. But anyway, I've muted a couple people. Actually, it might be you, Timmy, because I muted you, and now I don't have an echo, so I'm gonna see. But Lamar, and Timmy, I'm gonna mute you in a second. And David too, because David unmuted. So my issue, I guess, is like, are the fans overstepping the lines with threat? Are they He's saying they're threatening them and sending death threats to his family, and it's not unheard of. I've heard players get that in the past where they had death threats. I mean, how do you handle that? Should we look at them, because we're fanatics, we're the fans. We're those same people in the seats that's yelling and screaming at him and calling him Westbrook. I seen people at the game literally like yelling at him. Should we tone it down and recognize, you know what, at the end of the day, it's just basketball, and not take out and lessen some of our passion for it? Like, how should we respond when players let you know, like, yo, if y'all call me Westbrook again, you violate my last name, I'm going to have to put hands on you. David, what you think, man?
No. on average, a guy like Westbrook makes more money than everybody in those stands. So if you're making that much money and you consider yourself a professional athlete, you need to put up with what those fans did. If those fans not putting their hands on you, they're not calling you anything racist slur-wise or racist term-wise, you need to put up with that and focus on the game. And when you do focus on the game, you're showing your teammates that you are fully committed. The moment you're complaining about that stuff, as long as it's not along the lines of being racially biased or disrespectful, then you have a soft mentality. You have to figure that out. You need to go get some therapy sessions and say, hey, how do I get over this? Fans have been this way since the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and it's been worse.
Worse.
Then,
you used to go to Boston. You know what they used to call you in Boston. Matter of fact, Utah. They still be saying stuff in Utah.
Oh, yes.
Bill Russell
they will
probably
call
saying
you
this
boy,
light work
they
right
will call
here.
you the N-word and everything else.
Yeah.
Bill Russell probably like, man, this ain't nothing.
Yeah, calling you. That's a you thing. That's a you thing.
Crazy. So I feel like it's. I feel like it's. I don't know if they're. I don't know if they're crossing the line. I don't know if. Who is that with the echo? Hold on, let me see something. All right, I think we good. I don't know. I think we good. I don't know. Hold on a second, Ruben. Is it you? Hold on a second. I'm gonna mute everybody for a second because I keep having into that. Oh, Cello, you the culprit, Cello. When I muted everybody, when I muted you, that's when it went away. Let me unmute one by one just to make sure. David, let me hear you real quick just to make sure we good.
Yeah, I'm on here. I'm
you
good. I don't have no feedback either.
Let me just check. Timmy, let me hear you, sir. Make sure we good. Oh, Timmy, you're on mute on your side, not on our side. You're still muted on your side. You're unmuted on this side. And Ruben, I'm gonna unmute you for a second. Just to make sure, because otherwise we can't talk in the echo. L, let me hear you.
Mic check.
Yep, you're good. So no echo with you. And Ruben, you the last one. I'm unmute. And Cello, you still muted. Let me see. Ruben, let me hear you real quick.
It's never been me.
It's never. Hey, Cello, you the culprit, bro. So whatever it is, whatever's going on, your thing got a crazy echo because I don't have it now, which is weird. I'm gonna unmute you again to see. Just check your settings. In a second, Cello. I'm about to unmute you just to make sure we good. All right, let me see if I got it now. Hello, testing. All right, cool. I don't hear it right now, so hopefully we good to go. But yeah, it was weird. It was weird because it kept coming back and forth, and it was just distracting. So you're right, because during the Bill Russell days, Larry Bird, you go to the Garden, you go to Boston Arena, man, you know they saying to you up there, man. So, and then this is the funny part, because somebody called him out and called him a hypocrite because they said when Durant left, he was using the cupcake thing as it was associated with him. Am I wrong? Was that going on during that time? He was bashing him, right?
You cannot sit and talk about any other athlete, and then when fans get on you, oh, it's hurting my feelings. Oh, they're attacking my wife. No, you got to focus on the game. If they saying other things, if they're death threats, yes, completely understandable. Racial things, completely understandable. Anything else, tough skin.
You know what's weird? LeBron said he goes into the arena and he looks for the LeBron hater. See the mentality? He looks for that guy that's booing him and all of that. Go ahead, David.
And that's what Cello brings up about the Miami Heat. Butler don't go out there and score 35, 25 points. Butler go out there and play tough. The point guard that they got from Toronto play tough. You got to be conditioned in Miami like, yo, forget what the fans say. Forget what your numbers is. Come and play hard every day. And that's the difference between the Heat players and the rest of the league. I will say that immediately.
And that comes from top down with the Heat. Look who the man is over there.
I can't argue. I want to argue that so bad, and I can't because his resume says what it is. Yeah, you're right. Man, I want to argue that, and I can't argue it. You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm trying to find an angle, Ruben. I can't find an angle on that. You're absolutely right. Al, go ahead, man. Chime in. I see you.
what people fail to realize with Westbrook is Westbrook ain't changed. This been the same player every year. He's been a turnover king. He's been a rebound king. He's been an assist king. He's never had a jumper. The only thing now that's wrong with his game is he don't have that lift like he used to when he dunking on folks and he going straight to the hole. Now he has to settle down and try to shoot this jumper that ain't working. You know what I mean? But he got to pick his.
He put up 30 the other night on somebody.
That's what I'm about to say. That's what I'm about to say. He talked all this trash about he don't like what they saying, but he put up 30 something. LeBron was the one that didn't produce well that night.
Yeah. Yep. Good point. Good point.
So, I mean, back to the slandering. You like you said, you're making millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. I don't care what you call me. If I'm making $50 million a year, I don't care what you say to me. I'm going, and your words gonna make me go at you even harder. That's just my mentality. It's whatever your mentality is, you know. I mean,
so let me ask you, Ruben. Let me ask all of y'all. So we're going to put the fans on trial now. We're really gonna assess this because it keeps being mentioned, and we can't avoid it. I'm tired of hearing about woe is me. They talk about me. They blast me on social media. So us as fans, is that a fair argument by us saying because you make millions of dollars and you're a public figure, you have to deal with whatever scrutiny comes? Is there should we as fans be held accountable and say, you know what? I should take into consideration how this person feels regardless to their status, or is it just part of the nature of the beast when you are a professional athlete and suck it up and that's what come with it? I want to hear each one of y'all opinions so we can dead this horse so I can know how y'all feel about it, because I'm on the fence and I want y'all to kind of sway me to one side. So go ahead, Ruben, I'll let you start. Get your thoughts ready, guys.
We should take an account on how they feel, because for one, because they're in the public eye, they're held accountable for everything they say. So just because we're not making as much money as them, that don't mean we can say what we want. It should be equal across the board. And that's my stand on that.
Okay. So what if a player's not performing well, like in the case of Westbrook being inconsistent? Do we throw that out the window and then say, you know what, listen, I have respect for you, but dude, in terms of your profession, you're not doing a really good job. Is it fair for him to get that backlash?
I think when he said about what they were saying about his family was justified. Come at me. Don't come at my family. I understand that part.
Okay.
Now, he might have said it wrong, but the words, what I got from what he was saying was, y'all coming at my family, saying these things. My kids are coming home telling me these things are being said. It's getting a little outrageous in person. I can understand it from that point of view. But just for you alone, and they just coming at you, I don't understand that part.
Thank you, sir. You gave I'm processing it, and anybody's watching it, we're discussing sort of how the fans and professional athletes, that love-hate relationship. We love you when you're doing well, not so much when you're not doing well. And how should we handle that? With care, or should we just say, you know what, we're passionate fans, screw how you feel? Lamar, I'm gonna come to you. David, thank you, Ruben, for that good assessment. And I'm processing that. I want to see what I come out with at the end. Go ahead, Lamar, what you think?
I echo a lot of the words that was already shared, man, by Ruben. He really did and broke it down well. There is definitely a line that shouldn't be crossed with the fans in regards to athletes. Personal stuff that's going on in individuals' lives, and especially when you're dealing with these athlete family members, that should be limits. But any type of scrutiny in relation to your play, then it's fair game. Fans come to see you perform. When you're not performing, boo. And a lot of these athletes, I'm not putting the spotlight on the Knicks, because really they don't deserve no spotlight. But I want to talk about Julius Randle. Same scenario. He's a New York Knicks player, and the fans started getting on him because we're not seeing the same Julius Randle that was the All-Star last year, and then he tried to stick it to the fans. I mean, that is truly the wrong approach. What I like about the players of old in comparison to the players of today is the players of old, they took it and they did what every athlete is supposed to do. Okay, you don't like my play? Well, I'm going to change the narrative. I'm going to put up 20 points tonight. I'm going to put up 40 on you. They took what was coming at them and they responded with their play. These athletes are taking what's coming from the fans, and now they're going out for mental health and all these other things. Now, I'm not downplaying mental health. We know it's a real thing, but saying some of it is just stemming from a place of where I believe these athletes today are oversensitized. And they care about their viewers on their social media followings and things of that nature. And they got all these other things that they got in the background, endorsements and trying to get money. And they're more concerned about their reputation off the court or off the field instead of focusing on their game, trying to get better. I mean, if we were professionals, I believe we got the type of mentality, well, if we was getting booed, all right, we're going to put in extra work in the gym. So the next time we show up, we're going to be ready to perform to the best of our capability to show those same people that was booing us, look at me now, you know, but this is not the mentality of our players today. So that's all I wanted to add. But Ruben, you definitely broke it down, my brother. You definitely broke it down.
Great breakdown. Listen, y'all, both of y'all gave me, that was some really good breakdown on both ends. I'm going to go around. Now, mind you, this is your personal, whatever your assessment is, this is Fanatics. So I'm talking directly to everybody on here because that's us. Because y'all know we rip our teams during the year. I'm mad at, my NFL team behind me during the year. And now we talking about NBA specifically, but it could go across all sports. So, David, I seen you shaking your head. Timmy, you after David. Seller, you after him. David, that line, what you think? Your assessment is yours. It's your time.
I don't care about what the fans say. I was one of the most, and I'm going to get meat and potatoes real quick. I was one of the most unathletic players on the basketball court. I love when people didn't like me and when people, because that just made me, I'm going to prove you wrong. And I did that for a very long time. I did that in basketball. I did that in football. I did that in track. I do that in the Navy. Yes. I love the heat. These players don't like to be breathed on with heat. Cut it out. Cut it out. I love the heat. They too soft. They can't blame it on the fans. They got to look at themselves.
Wow. Listen, man. So you and Lamar, listen, all of y'all sentiments are fair, and I love this conversation. Mind you, I know we got to get to standings and stuff like that, but this is being publicized, and it's putting us as fans in a certain light. So I'm like, I had to assess. I'm like, man, we're Fanatics. Are we overdoing it when we call somebody a bum? And should we worry about his emotional stress? Like his emotional state because I said, yo, you shot 3 of 20 and you stunk it up. Should I worry about his mental health? Probably not, but I wanted to hear it. So, David, thank you for that as well. Listen, all y'all going to get facts at the end. I can't give no one person, but y'all all making valid points. Timmy, it's on you. Your players don't have that issue because no one says anything bad about the Suns, but in terms of that player and fan relationship, what do you think, man? I know the era's different, but what you think?
Now, let me put it to you this way. As a former athlete myself, if I play bad and you let me know about it, I'm gonna do whatever it takes for me to become better.
Okay.
And even if you boo me, I'm gonna use that to my advantage.
So that's fuel for you. You took that as fuel. Okay. Now, how do you handle that on the massive scale of thousands of fans at an arena? Westbrook, how do you handle that? You know what I'm saying? And Tyrone, you at the cello, so get ready for this topic. Go ahead, Timmy, it's back to you. How do you handle that on that scale?
Thousands of people Doesn't matter to me.
Mm.
I'll play my best game when you boo me.
You shut out the noise. Got you. I love it.
Noise.
I love it. Now, is
You
is
late
so let me,
by themselves.
is there any player in today's game, Timmy, that comes to mind that you feel like? Obviously, I just mentioned LeBron, how LeBron actually goes and looks for a hater in the crowd. Is there any other player that you can think of that has that kind of quote unquote Mamba mentality where it's like, I don't hear nothing, I'm locked in, and y'all can say whatever y'all want? Is there any player that comes to mind that you can think of in today's game that he don't care about what the fans are talking about?
And just wrong.
Who is it who comes to mind? Oh, he froze on me. He was good. He was good. Timmy, I'm gonna come back to you. Hold that thought. I'm gonna come back to you. Cello, I'm gonna pose that to you before you get into your soliloquy, as Mark like to say. Cello, what player in today's time do you feel like? And Timmy, I'm gonna come back to you. Feel like in today's time, Cello has the fortitude to say, you know what? I am not fazed by the crowd. I'm not fazed by social media. I'm not fazed by all the negative that come to me when I don't play well. And they can block it out and still just go and handle their business. Anybody that comes to mind that in that area, any sport, mind you, but you can start with NBA.
You get him?
Yeah, I hear you.
No echo?
Not right now. No, you good.
Okay. 1, 2. All right. Yeah. I mean, I sound like I hear echo. I look at Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
All he does is come to work, man. Like, he don't care about nothing else. Like,
do they like him? Do the players actually like him, or they just
what?
They gotta respect
the
him.
Players like him.
No, they gotta respect him.
You gotta respect him.
Man.
He put his money where his mouth is. You gotta respect that.
Pat
Riley, I just had to ask that question because he does have a certain stigma attached to him when it comes to going to teams. So I wanted to know since you've been there if they like him.
To what we talking about.
Yeah,
You have players that are coming up, being spoiled.
I see you, Ruben. I got you.
Giving everything handed to them.
Yeah.
Remember, Jimmy Butler slept. He was homeless, man. This cat knows what it is to have nothing.
That's different.
You know what I'm saying? So he like, man, none of that stuff fazed me. You know, I wasn't even supposed to be here. But he beat the odds. So it's like, you know, when Pat Riley loves you, knowing Pat Riley's history, that cat went from LA to New York to Miami. That cat is a legend.
Yes.
And for that dude to love you and every part of your game and Coach Scotia, yo, that cat don't even be complaining. Like, I'm like, yo, I respect this dude so much. So I can understand how he bumped heads with certain players like Karl Anthony Towns, you know. But I would say Karl Anthony Towns, you could tell he changed. He started getting tough, especially with his mom passed away.
Right.
He became a different player. He became a tougher player. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, everybody's not the same. Every player is not the same. This is just the reality of everything. Yeah. And then when it comes to fans, listen, you don't see fans storming on the court.
What's your take with the fans and player relationship, man?
You don't see fans storming on the court.
Yeah.
They usually have that under control.
Yeah.
When do you see fans storming on the court doing harm to a player?
Yeah.
And like it was said earlier, these cats is making mad dough. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. People say stuff. It ain't right. But guess what? That's just life, man. Like, you ain't even got to be a basketball player. You got trolls. You probably have a troll coming on here. Remember one show the trolls came on?
I got one every week we got one. And he'll never get
always coming on, always saying something.
Yep.
We experienced that here.
We got trolls at our job. Let's keep it real. We know
it's trolls at the job. They don't
we got that dude that think he's a manager. That's not a manager at our job. Go ahead. My bad. Don't let me get started. Go ahead, Cello.
But these cats going through it while they making millions of dollars.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So listen, it's just a part of life. As long as no fan is storming on the court, you know, as long as we don't see it getting crazy like that, you know, just like it was said, block or use it for fuel, block it out, whatever. But you gotta win that game, man. You trying to win the championship. Can't let that phase you. But if you ain't balling, because we gotta be honest, Russell Westbrook is not balling. Like Ruben said earlier, the cat never developed a jumper. We always knew if that cat don't develop a jumper, it's not gonna look good for the rest of his career.
This team has been brought together by LeBron, so he not the only one that gets like. Dude, I just heard Houston when Jalen Green was interviewed and he said in overtime our strategy was to attack Melo. Yikes. That's yikes. Like that says a lot. Tyrone, fan and player relationship, man. You a Laker fan? I'm not talking specifically about Lakers, but we fanatics. So since we fanatics, they talking about us specifically that we need to relax. Go watch the game. It's entertainment. Stop being all extra and attacking these players when they're human beings. What's your take on that, man, from a fan's perspective?
Cuz man, what are we talking about right now? Like for one, they make millions, right? And they you know,
does that give them a pass?
It doesn't give them a pass. However, it's like, okay, like you don't complain when you're winning. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're winning, who what matters what the fans say? But it's when you losing and not playing good and all of that. That's when it's a problem. Because you ain't never heard nobody talking about fans when their team is the number 1 seed and they winning all these games and they can care less about a fan. But as soon as you start losing, now the fans is a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Tyrone,
like, why are we even talking about this?
They say he's the best fans in the world. That's what they say when they winning.
I mean, because at the end of the day, you need the fans. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're booing you or not.
Yeah.
You know, they coming to see you no matter what. They paying a ticket to see y'all. So if they booing you or cheering for you, you need them at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
How do you handle that? So put yourself in a professional athlete's position, a Westbrook or whomever, and you're hot and cold, you're kind of inconsistent. How would you handle that? And you getting the backlash?
Handle it the same, like I just handled it the same way when you was winning. How did you handle it when you was winning? Because there's no way you're going into a away arena and all the fans are cheering for you. You know what I'm saying? It's not happening. So the same way you handle it when you was winning, you need to handle it when y'all losing. I mean, it hurts more. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna hurt. But I mean, that comes with the business, man. Like if you don't like fans saying anything to you, you might as well not be in the NBA.
Facts.
There's nothing as long as they don't touch you or nothing like that,
David said
you good, man, because you going there's no way you got 20,000 people in the arena and you gonna care about which each of them say. Like, how you gonna do that? It's not even gonna you're gonna drive yourself crazy, man. So that's my thought on it.
Even in this game with Philly and Brooklyn,
right?
They said they started selling the tickets even more because these tickets were in high demand for this game because Ben Simmons was coming. Guess what? Ben Simmons showed up. Got to give him his respect for that. And not only did he show up, but Brooklyn beating these cats by 30 points.
Listen,
and they knew Philly fans is one of the worst fans, and they was going to bring it, and they shut the fans up quick. The fans is quiet right now because they're getting blown out.
Go ahead, David.
Listen, and this is the reason why I like this knucklehead. Kyrie Irving made it a personal mission to set those fans up tonight.
100%. 100.
Kyrie Irving, and he's that guy. He doesn't care what anybody cares about.
Nobody.
Kyrie Irving is that guy. He said, you know what? I know I need this guy to win a chip. I'm going to shut y'all up nice and early, and I'm going to get that word to Harden nice and early.
Gave it to him.
Philly fans be quiet the rest of the night. And that's how sports is supposed to be played. That's that Mamba mentality, and he's proven that tonight.
They said
I just realized security. Is that a James Harden jersey? You really did go get this James Harden jersey?
No. See, this was. I wish I wouldn't want to change because you know what jersey I got on? I got on the Ben Simmons jersey.
How petty! I literally got some of the pettiest people on this panel, though. He went for this Ben Simmons jersey. I can't, yo. I love it.
I purposely wore this tonight, knowing that game was gonna get played tonight, and now it's backfiring because he's on a team that's winning by 30 points.
30 points. Listen, and don't think I forgot. I swear I wish I remember. If Steve was here, he would be able to single it out. It might have been him actually and somebody else, but y'all was doing a lot of talking last week. Philly this, Philly that, Philly da-da-da, and y'all wasn't impressed with the Nets. Actually, it might have been Ruben. Or was it Ruben? One of y'all was not impressed with the Nets. So I need you to own up to it, whoever that was, because I heard y'all last week.
How can you not? How can you not be impressed with the Nets?
Okay, was it you, David? Somebody said they wasn't impressed with the Nets.
One game don't make you special. Whoop-de-doo, you're winning.
Hey, real
Let
question,
me see
Mike.
if you make the playoffs first. Get out of here.
Go ahead, Tyrone. Ask your question.
Hey, question. So, in all honesty, right now, what duo would you rather have on your team? Joel and Harden, or Kyrie and KD? Let's keep it real.
Well, let's go around. Let's see what the assessment is on that. David, who you?
And I'm going to back up exactly who.
You
who
give
go
yours
against
first,
this.
Tyrone. Give yours first. Who would you rather have?
Of course, I'm going with KD and Kyrie. There's no way. But I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead, tell why. So get ready. I want y'all to break it down the same way he gonna do. Give me your why. Go ahead.
One obvious reason is, okay, who got championships? That's a big deal, and they showing it right now because of that. Now, I'm not gonna say that, in a series or whatever it is, it ain't gonna be a good if they was to even meet up.
Yeah.
But I'm almost positive, even if you're a Philly fan or not, whatever it is, you can't go against KD in the playoffs. There's no way you could go against this man in the playoffs, and he got Kyrie with him. I'm just trying to figure out who is gonna beat that.
Okay. All right, that's your assessment. Thank you, Ty. Good point. David, is on you. Cello, get ready. You after David.
I'm going with Harden and Embiid. The only reason why everybody look at the Nets is because the Nets got the better of the deal because they was able to bring all Curry and Drummond along with them. If Curry and Drummond is not attached to that deal and they still in Philly roll. They run the rest of the league. Cut it out. Cut it out. Philly got the
what has Philly or anybody on that team won? Nothing.
It's not about what they won. It's about what they lost. It's about what they lost in that trade. They gave up too much. They should not have had to give up Curry, and they should not have. Well, they had to get Harden, but they gave up too much talent directly to their opponent.
Did he not see what KD did last year in the playoffs? Did he not? Did you see that by himself?
KD is the most unstoppable scorer in the league in the history of the league.
Yes,
I will never knock KD. Is he better than Giannis overall? No. Scoring-wise, he's the most unstoppable scorer in the league. But Philly was an idiot because Philly gave up Curry and Drummond to make that deal happen.
So you trust Giannis?
I just want to pause for 1 second, David. You know it's documented that you just said KD is not better than Giannis. You know you just said that.
I don't know where he got that from.
He's not.
I don't know where he got that from.
I'm gonna give you a chance to reel that back in. You sure you want to say that publicly?
This is what he's saying.
He is the most unstoppable scorer in the history of the NBA.
We not
agree. That does not make you better.
KD is the top. KD is the top 5 player of all time. So how can you even put that?
Scorer, not player. Scorer.
So what makes? So let me ask you this question because I want to stay on it. But that was a big. So what makes Giannis better than KD?
Because he is a unstoppable. He is Shaq. He is Shaq.
Shaq who can't shoot.
He is Shaq with a handle who can go coast to coast. And KD is going to give you 50.
Hold on.
KD can give you 50. KD can give you 50.
Hold up, Tom. Let him rock. I know y'all feathers ruffle, so I'm going to go around, David. You open the pitch. Go ahead.
KD can give you 50 points on 22 shots. Giannis can give you 45 points, 17 rebounds, 9 assists, 5 blocks, 3 steals, whenever he feels like it. I'm not saying that Giannis is a better scorer than KD, because nobody in the history of the game is a better scorer than KD.
All right, so
That's
like
because
Ruben said, you're saying overall player.
Nobody is
overall,
going to agree
Giannis
with
is
you
better than him.
of you
All right,
putting Giannis over KD.
I
don't
gotta
believe
go to Ruben.
nobody is going to believe that.
Hold on,
Nobody.
Todd. Ruben.
There's nobody's going to
What say
believe that.
you about that assessment? And again, David, I respect your opinion. I think you're crazy for that, but I respect Ruben. What you think, sir? In regards to that, this is interesting. I didn't know he was going to take that turn until he said that. I couldn't let that go without acknowledging that.
Oh my God!
If I gotta go with a tandem, I don't like Harden because Harden don't show up in the playoffs. I like Embiid. Don't get me wrong. Embiid put the work in. It's just his counterparts that don't come along with him and put the work in. Embiid puts the work in. Kyrie, you don't even know if he's gonna be there in the playoffs, have games, whatever game, because he has a bad knee, y'all know. That knee can go out at any time.
Not the way he's playing tonight. I don't know.
Not the way he's playing tonight.
Don't worry about his knee if he only gonna be there for half the game. So his knee's gonna be straight.
Let's put it
His
this
knee
way.
gonna be straight.
Go ahead, Ru.
My two will be Kyrie and Embiid. I don't like
Todd
Harden.
got that, and Ruben got that. Okay, Stella, you next.
I don't like Harden. I don't like Durant. Let me tell you
Okay.
why I don't like Durant.
Okay.
Durant mentality from when he left OKC. You don't join the team that you should have beat when you had them up. That's a no-no in any league. I don't care who you are. I'm not going to no team. I don't care if we had 10, 15, 20 turnovers. The next year, I'm coming back at you, and I'm going to tell my teammates, give me the ball. It's going to be never die by me. Not nobody else, not Westbrook, not anybody else. It's going to be live or die by me. I'm not going to the team that beat me last year. I'm not doing it. No.
Don't read into that, man. Everybody, that's
There's
the
no
way
level-
the NBA go. That's
There's
not.
no-
You
That's
gotta
old
touch on
school
that.
thinking.
Cello, I promise I'm coming to you. They keep opening up Pandora's box of trying to not have it. But now he brought up the red thing again. Go ahead, David. David, go ahead. Cello, get ready.
I already stated why I
There's
don't
no
like
live or die by me. There's no live or die by me when I can score all day, but I can only stop or change the game one way. Durant can only change the game one way, and that's scoring. Durant don't give you.
I wasn't done.
Durant don't give you 12 rebounds. Durant don't give you. When the last time Durant had a 10 assist game? When the last time Durant had a 4 steal game? Come on. He only changed the game one way. He's the greatest scorer. He's the greatest combination scorer in the history of the game.
Yeah, y'all gotta let Ruben finish. Y'all gotta hold your thought, David. Hold your thought. Let Ruben rock. Cello, I promise I got you. We hit something that just sparked the whole different combo. So go ahead.
He
Hold
ain't
your
talking
thought.
facts with KD.
I'm gonna come to you. Ruben, finish your thought, sir, because they ready to go.
KD is a defensive liability, just like Harden is a defensive liability.
Are y'all
KD is 6'10", but he's a 6'10", 6'11" body playing as a guard, small forward type. He's not a 6'11", 6'7" foot damn near playing center power forward.
So let me pause you right there. Let me ask you this question. That's a good point, Ruben. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you. I'm sorry to cut you off. I want to ask you when y'all make certain points, and a rebuttal comes in my head, I gotta ask. So, what player that goes head to head with Durant lights Durant up? Please tell me.
Durant ain't sticking him.
So if he's a defensive liability,
hold on.
What player that
Can I answer that? Mike,
is lighting him up? Because I'm not seeing it. Go ahead, Tom.
Durant don't score. Durant don't guard 4 and 5s. That's what Ruben is saying.
But that's
Giannis guard 1 through 5.
Hold on.
I like this. All right, Tom, I'm gonna let you get. I know you're about to explode. I'm gonna let you get your second to address Ruben and David, and then Cello. I'm coming to you after he's done. I promise. Be ready. Be ready. Go ahead.
These is facts right here, right? And this you can go look this up.
I need facts to rebuttal that.
KD's defensive rating since he left OKC has raised every year.
Let him rock, y'all. Don't cut him off.
Now you could go look. You could go look that up right now if you want to. His defensive ratings since he left OKC has raised. So
I'm not doubting you.
I mean, you could call it what you want. The
I got
man
y'all.
has
Y'all
played
gonna
1 through 5 since he left OKC.
Yeah.
He guards all positions. Not saying he's gonna guard them all night, but he can guard all positions. As of right now, KD is playing one of the best. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How y'all saying that he can't play both sides? Yes, he ain't gonna win Defensive Player of the Year because he probably gonna win MVP or the scoring title. So it really don't matter whichever one you want to take. But when you need KD to D up, if you can even look from last year, he's gonna D up. He's not one of those players that won't do that.
Hold that thought. Hold on. Let me get y'all a chance to rebuttal. I'm gonna get a clean transition. Watch. I'm gonna flex my moderator skills right now. What say y'all about what he just said in terms of his defensive improvement? That is a fact. That his improvement. Vince,
you can go look that up.
Right.
Go ahead.
He might be right, and I understand he's right. But how many all defensive teams have Durant been on?
Good point. Go ahead, David. Hold up, Tyrone. I'm gonna let you respond.
Cello,
I got you. Go ahead, David.
Your defensive rating went up when you went and played along with Draymond Green, so you didn't have to cover 4 and 5s.
Or what you want him to do?
You did that. Just hear me out.
Go ahead.
So you went and played against a guy who, guess what, makes all defensive teams in green, all everything teams in green. So of course, when all I got to do is guard 3s and 2s. I'm good. I can now go mediocre 3s and 2s. Yes, I can just now go out here and focus on one person. Whoop-de-doo.
I like that.
You go to the Nets. You scared to guard 4 and 5s. You go out and get Blake Griffin. Come on, get out of here, man. Get out of here.
And look who they got now.
Giannis guards 1 through 5.
Well, they a different body type, though. Giannis ain't gonna play. Yeah, that's a good point.
Watch this.
He could guard 1 through 5, but KD put up 50 on them every single time they play. He can guard 1 through 5, but KD put up 50 on them every time.
Do we ignore 50 points now? Like that's light work.
Like what are we saying?
Listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Ruben. Cello, I got you. Go ahead, Ruben.
Give him 50, but on the other end, your man getting you to work too.
Who else giving him 50?
Like Durant. Who's killing him?
Who's giving KD 50
Let me put
points?
this out here. See, this is what y'all said about Jordan as well. When you're the best player, you got to go both sides of the ball, baby. You can't just go one side and think you're going to win.
Hold up.
No.
Jordan was a defensive player of the year. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You got to go both sides of the ball when you going into championship games playing against perennial all-stars as yourself. You ain't going to play one side of the ball think you're going to win. Why they lost last year? Why they didn't make it last year?
Oh my God. I mean, he was playing the whole game and he had no help.
50 because KD was scoring 50 and Giannis was scoring 45, but Giannis was guarding 3 or 4 other people. That's why he didn't make it last year. Guarding. I'm not talking scoring. Guarding.
Well, we're not gonna act like Milwaukee. We're not gonna act like Milwaukee didn't have PJ Tucker on that team. We're not gonna act like that. We're not gonna do that and act like he's not a defender. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna act like PJ Tucker wasn't on that team.
This is what we're saying.
And we know he did. He was there for defense. Yes or no?
Yes.
And he played. He played a 4 to 5. He played like 3 positions on defense.
Giannis ain't there for defense.
I'm just saying, but we're not gonna act like Giannis ain't had no help with Tucker there because Miami know firsthand what Tucker can do.
Every team needs help.
Not only does he play defense, he can
take your interest while you can, Cello. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Cello.
Not only was PJ Tucker there for defense, one of the best defenders in the league, one of the toughest defenders.
Say that again for the people in the back.
Player, but he also leads the league in 3-point percentage.
Don't forget Drew Holiday and don't forget
Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday
exactly.
Is one of the
they have a defensive team, so for y'all to say Giannis was guarding everybody.
I'm gonna throw a monkey
wrench.
I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench.
So Ruben and David, hold on, Cello. I'm coming back to you. I promise. Mm-hmm. Let me just. I want y'all. When y'all make good points, I gotta stop right there. Let us just morsel on that. So David and Brooke Lopez. Ruben, can we now? What's your rebuttal to the fact that PJ Tucker and Holiday are both also defensive stoppers as well to go along
Brooke
with
Lopez.
Do we
Brooke
overlook
Lopez.
that?
Stop it. Brooke Lopez, stop it. He can't guard nobody out.
I ain't
Brooke
gonna,
Hold on.
let's
Brooke
go
Lopez
Brooke
made an
out.
all-defensive
I'm
team.
not even gonna give
Brooke
Brooke that.
Lopez made an
Right.
all-defensive
Brooke
team.
Lopez in there. Don't
Brooke
even throw him in
Lopez
there.
made an all-defensive
So
team.
we'll
Go back.
bypass Brooke.
I'm just telling
but
y'all,
we're not
Brooke
gonna
Lopez
bypass
made
Holiday
a
and Tucker. What's
all-defensive
y'all?
team.
Hold on, Tom. What's y'all response to that? Because that's a defensive team, yes or no?
That is a defensive team, but who's the head hunter on that team? Who's
Agreed.
the leader?
We ain't talking about no headhunter. We just talking about what kind of team they had, and he didn't have to guard all 1 through 5 because he had defensive players with him.
Because matter of fact, I didn't even
He
see
did.
Giannis on
Why did we? Why did
Durant.
Giannis?
The year
Giannis
before
got
they
to
won
guard
the
1 through
chip.
5
Hold on,
when
John.
he
Hold
has
on.
a
Go ahead,
defensive
David.
team?
Go ahead, David. Go ahead,
Oh my
David. This is a
God.
good argument. This is a good argument. I like this.
This is the first time I got upset when this show. the year before they won the chip, when Tucker wasn't there, when the point guard wasn't there, Giannis was doing everything. They finished with the best record. They finished with the number 2 defense in the NBA. So don't tell me that Giannis
The only
can't do
person that they were
everything.
missing
Get out of
was
here.
PJ Tucker. They still had the same team.
No, Holiday wasn't there. He wasn't there
was
when
their
they
point
finished with
guard?
the
He was with
NBA
the
best
Pelicans,
record.
Who was their
He was
point
with
guard?
Pelicans.
The year before?
I'm
It
talking about
was-
the year.
it
I'm
was
talking
a-
about the years that they were relevant. Who was their point guard?
They were relevant the last 3 years. Last year they
They had
won
to
the
let him
chip.
go because he wanted more money. They had to let him go. I forgot what his name is. I forgot what
He's
his
with
Is it Drew
Indiana
Bledsoe?
right now.
I mean,
Brogdon.
It was Bledsoe. It was Bledsoe. I think it was Bledsoe. Yep. It was.
No, it was Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Cocky Bledsoe.
was
Bledsoe
both
was
of
there
them.
as the Bledsoe was there as the
Brogdon
6th
was
man.
there.
Malcolm Brogdon was there as the starting guard.
And Bledsoe played defense too.
And they finished with the best record in the NBA and the number 2 defense in the
They
NBA.
lost to
That's
Miami.
old Giannis. Cut that out.
That's the bubble
Don't
year?
compare Giannis. Do not compare Giannis
Not
and
before the bubble.
KD defensively.
Okay, agree. I agree. Giannis and KD are not the same defensively, but y'all
That's what we're trying to
cannot.
tell you.
Yes, but
overlook
hold on, but
that
KD
team
makes it up by
last year
being
when
way better
PJ
than Giannis
Tucker was
offensively.
on KD more than Giannis was on KD. Yes or no?
Are you serious right now?
Was
Look at who averaged more
He
points.
was on. He
Look
was
who
on
Cello,
averaged
who
KD.
was on? Cello, maybe they didn't watch that playoff game.
Hold
Who
on,
was
He was
on
on KD.
KD?
Hold on.
He was on
Hold on,
KD.
Tom. Hold on. I
Giannis
gotta let
guarded
Cello finish.
KD the whole game, and he
The
put
whole
up 50.
game. I
Are
thought
y'all
it was
crazy?
I ain't see Giannis on
Wait,
him.
hold on. He was
Go ahead,
on
Tim.
KD so much that KD moms was getting mad. Y'all remember that?
That's a
I
fact.
Y'all
remember
remember KD moms
Exactly.
getting mad?
He said, "I love
And
you
still,
too."
and
I
how much he,
remember that.
I
how
love
much
you
he
too.
put up? How
Hey,
much he
David.
put up?
David and Ruben, that's a good point. It
How
wasn't
much he put up?
Giannis on him. He'd have killed
If he's
Giannis.
so good defensively, why
He'd
he
have
let
killed
KD put up
Giannis.
50?
Giannis
If he's
guards.
that great defensively, why would you give up 50 points to KD? Oh, because he's better. That's why.
That's a good point.
Who's better?
Y'all missing the point. Y'all still
What's
Who's
the
better?
point? If you are so
He's a
great
better scorer.
defensively,
He's a better
how are you
scorer.
letting this man give you 50?
So
He's a great scorer.
Nobody
He's
is
a
giving
great
KD
scorer
50.
in the history of the league.
This is what
Nobody is
hold on.
giving
Don't
KD
make me
50.
mute, y'all. I like y'all. I like the energy. I want to make sure we getting our points out.
Listen
So
to the
David,
words that I'm saying. Listen to these words.
we listening. Go ahead.
KD is the greatest scorer of all time in the game right now. That has already been said. What
Right.
is being said other than that is when you get to the other side of the floor,
Thank you.
get killed by Giannis.
Listen,
He don't stick Giannis though. When is KD on Giannis?
Exactly.
But Giannis can
That's what
cover
we're trying to
everybody.
say.
Dude,
He
Giannis
can't,
is
but
built
Giannis
like
can
what's the
cover
point of
everybody.
covering everybody?
Hold on. I hate to be that guy because I'm the moderator, but let me give David and Ruben just something to ponder on.
You don't stick nobody
Giannis is the modern day Shaq, yes or no? Is he the modern day Shaq, yes or no?
guard.
No.
He can play four
I'm just
spots.
saying, in terms of dominance down low, is he the modern day
I
Shaq
picked
down
Embiid
low?
over
He's
him.
an automatic
He's Shaq until he plays
overtime.
KD.
Nobody can
He's
stop
Shaq
Giannis
until
once
he
he get in the
plays
paint.
KD.
There you go.
Nah.
KD's game is not built for down low in the paint. He
Thank
he's
you. That's what
steady
we
as
trying to
anything. He
tell
can't
him.
play that
You
down low.
telling
That's
me
what we
Giannis
said.
He can't guard down there either.
That's
So he
what we
can't
said
guard
the
down there
whole
either.
time.
Five, no, not the five. He's not built to play the five. Not a Giannis
Giannis-
like five.
Giannis can guard 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. KD can only guard 2 and 3.
So I like that. So my
75%.
question, So if that is
75%.
indeed the case, Tyrone and Cello, if that is indeed the case that he can guard all of those, why was he not on Durant? Why was PJ Tucker
But
on
Mike,
Durant?
but listen to this: 75% of you saying the forwards or the centers down low, they not even. There's only like about a good 5 players that play down low in the NBA anyway.
Agreed.
Everybody else shoots. So he's a modern day center. If you want to be real, KD can play the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, or the 5 because that's how the NBA is played. So he can play the 5 and guard your 5. Yes, if he's going against Embiid or somebody big,
He's
or
a
whatever,
liability if he's at the 5 against an
but
NBA.
he can play 1
he's
through
a liability
5
against
because
NBA.
that's how the NBA is played anyway. That's there ain't no more just getting down low and getting buckets. You have to be able to shoot.
He's not going to play 5.
Listen, if Giannis gets a shot, I will give you that he might be up there with KD. If he get a shot, fine. But until then, he's not. Sorry.
You're just talking scoring. You're not talking dominance of game.
Okay.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Basketball is
that's
the point of the game.
Second, but I'm
if
gonna
you
let
can't
y'all rock
stop nobody from
out.
scoring, you're going to lose. This is basketball.
Let me just say, that's why they didn't win last year.
If you can't stop nobody from scoring, you're going to lose. So if KD can give you 50, then you're going to lose because you can't stop him. That's the point.
KD gave the
you cannot
50,
stop him.
KD gave the Bucks 50 and more.
Since you talking about he give them 50 and they'll win, why they ain't win last year?
He gave them 50 and missed the shot and more.
They win last year? Answer that question.
But y'all didn't answer my question.
They didn't win last year because KD did not have a team.
So let me ask y'all. So again,
well, he the best scorer, so he should win.
He is.
So clearly he is. That's what you just said.
Okay, well, watch what happens. If KD has his pieces, I guarantee you it's a wrap.
It's documented. Tyrone, you know it's documented that you're saying that, right? It's documented.
If KD has his pieces, it's a wrap. Let me just tell you, it's a wrap.
All right, so I'm gonna get off it. I don't know how we turned into a KD.
This is my last point.
Go ahead, sell on my man. I didn't get. Hold on, Ruben. Let's sell on. I ain't even let sell on.
I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench because
don't do it,
we saw my KD and Kyrie and James Harden and Embiid.
Yes.
First and foremost, I'm gonna throw this monkey wrench in there.
Philadelphia
gave one of the big blessings to the Miami Heat when they let go of Jimmy Butler. Because Embiid and Butler would have been crazy. And I guarantee you, Kyle Lowry would have went to Philly if Butler was there with Embiid. And who knows?
He was there, yeah.
PJ Tucker probably would have ended up in Philly too. So you would have had Lowry, Embiid, Tucker, and Butler. Now, just as Ruben said earlier, Embiid ain't been hooked up with the right players, man. I don't even think Harden the right player. If you look at this game tonight, Embiid went to the free throw line 19 times.
Wow.
That's dominance. 27 points, 12 boards. Guess how much Harden had? 11 points. 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He ain't do nothing this game.
Oh, Irvin made it a mission.
Philly, in a statement game, you ain't bringing it. But Embiid always brings it.
Irvin made it a mission to embarrass him tonight. I knew that was going to happen.
How much did Kyrie end up with? Do we know? Do we know how much Kyrie had?
Kyrie had 22. KD had 25 with 14 boards. 7 assists.
I thought he don't play defense and get
and listen,
double doubles.
listen.
I don't know where y'all got
Curry,
that. I don't understand.
Curry had 24 points.
14 rebounds with 25 points. That's Giannis type numbers. No, that's not Giannis type numbers.
No, you're crazy.
Can I? Hey, Mike, let me say one more thing. Mike.
Go ahead.
Listen. So, in all honesty, right? If last year between
I'll be right back. Give me a second.
Which we can talk hypothetically all we want.
Right.
But if the Nets actually had their whole squad, because they was right there, do you really think the Bucks would have won? Because KD did what he had to do, right? And they still lost. I got it. He definitely still lost.
For that,
but I'm saying is though, you add another score in there, bro. 25 to 30, whatever he's gonna give you.
What if they did?
That's what I'm just saying. That's what.
No way to know that.
Why you saying as though the Bucks is this or the Bucks is defense or whatever it is? that defense didn't mean anything if you have one more score, and that would have been it. Because KD pretty much did it by himself.
So
That's
this
what I'm
is
saying.
this is my question that still hasn't been answered. If Giannis is the man defensively, why is he not on KD? Why is he on the net center during that series? Please explain it to me.
He know why.
You put him in the best spots where he's going to perform. Point blank.
Right, against Claxton. Why you don't want to do that going against KD? Because KD gonna make it work.
This is where Giannis is. This is where Giannis is at his dangerous. He ain't gonna be on him, but you best believe when he go to the hole and he can sneak behind him and block that shot.
Nah, that ain't. But that ain't even good.
That's just like
that ain't even good enough.
That's not saying he's a
good
slouch on defense. That's not
Uh-huh.
saying he's a slouch on defense. You don't want your best defensive player on your best offensive player for him to foul out.
But
Because
y'all
you know
just
KD
But if
But
he's
y'all
good
just
defensively, he should.
Listen,
Can't
listen,
do that.
let's
Can't
But
pick
say
didn't
and
y'all
about
choose.
KD.
just
Can't
but
pick
didn't
and
y'all
Just
just
like
say
choose.
that
you said
against
about
KD for
KD.
not playing the 4 and
Can't
the
pick
5
and
on
choose.
defense?
Because I guarantee
Just like you
you.
said about KD,
Yeah,
KD is the best scorer of all time in today's game. We already
right,
said that. So
right.
anybody you put on him, he's going to torch him on offense. But on defense, he's not that guy. Giannis can stick
What does he got? What does he have
Giannis
to do
can
on
hold it.
defense to be that guy?
Let me get this clear. Let's make
What
this
does he
clear.
have to do?
Go ahead,
Can I
go ahead.
finish,
We're about to get off of it. We're gonna look at the standings and see what we got to talk about. Go ahead.
Giannis can hold it with the best of them down in the paint. Don't get it twisted. Giannis
In the
can.
paint. Notice you said in the paint.
Yes, in the paint. Because I've
Agreed.
seen him. I've seen
In the
him
paint,
hold
I
Anthony Davis.
100% agree.
And I've seen him get it. And I've seen him get tossed up out in the perimeter.
Man, can I finish? Can I
Go ahead,
finish?
go ahead, Ruben. Go ahead, Ruben. Go ahead.
I've seen him hold Anthony Davis down. I've seen him hold some of the best down on the perimeter and in the paint because he is that dude. He can do it.
Yes.
But Kevin Durant can't do that and give you 50. That's what I'm trying to tell
Don't
you.
say nothing, Tyrone. Don't say nothing.
Giannis can do that. Giannis can do that and give you 30 plus, 10 rebounds, blocks, and steals. Durant can't do that because it exerts too much energy for him to do it on the defensive end.
But if they went head to head, and the Nets and the Bucks went head to head, and the assignment is not put Giannis on KD because he's gonna cook Giannis, I don't understand your argument. Because they didn't put Giannis on KD.
I didn't say
the argument
he's gonna
is this.
put Giannis. He's gonna give him that. He's gonna give him 30, probably 30.
Giannis got down low. Giannis got an advantage. That's
40.
established. But out on the perimeter,
He's selling them
he can't
short.
cover
40.
KD on the perimeter. No way.
He can't stick him on the perimeter. He can't stick him on the perimeter.
All right, as
No,
long
he
as you,
cannot.
thank you for acknowledging
No,
that,
he
Ruben.
cannot.
Thank you for acknowledging. That's what I was
No,
looking
he
for.
cannot.
Not on the
Giannis
perimeter.
is
That's
a
what I
Not on
was
the
looking
perimeter.
for. Yep.
Not on the
Giannis is
perimeter.
a good all-around defender. I've
All
seen
around,
him do it.
right. But
I've
not a
seen him do
KD.
Hold
He
on.
can't cover KD
Listen,
on the perimeter.
just listen. Rudy
he can.
Gobert won the defensive player of the
guard
year,
him
and he
on
can't
perimeter.
guard nobody on the perimeter.
Yeah,
Don't
David,
make,
how is Rudy Gobert up there?
don't make it about don't make the defensive player of the year thing thinking that he can just guard everybody because you can't. Rudy Gobert can't guard everybody. He won it 3 times. So that has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. Giannis will get tossed up in the perimeter.
David, I'm coming to you.
Giannis will get tossed
Tyrone,
up
let
in
me
the
finish this
perimeter.
story so I can wrap it up so I can make sure. So what I'm hearing is Giannis is a great defender overall. His strength is down low. Against
Correct.
elite players on a perimeter, he can get cooked like anybody else. Is that
And
fair
he
to
does.
say yes or no?
And he does get cooked.
That's not
He
what
don't
I'm saying.
he don't go out there.
What I'm saying
He don't go out there.
He don't guard the perimeter.
If he got
Just
to
like
guard,
Rudy
then he
Gobert
will.
don't guard the
All
perimeter.
right, David, let me hear you, and then I'm gonna get off of this because
Unless you Gary Payton, you ain't guarding the perimeter like that.
So David,
Stop it.
let me hear this argument about Giannis in the perimeter. Because what series was y'all watching? Because he ain't cover KD. PJ Tucker was on KD.
He didn't have to.
Nobody
If
can
he had
cover
to,
KD.
he will. But he
You
didn't have
just
to.
said he's this great defender that can play on the perimeter.
Yes.
First of all, I'm not the coach.
Ruben, let me let David get his off. Let David get his off. Go ahead, David.
We just
It's
keep
good combo,
boiling it
by the
down.
we keep boiling it down to those two guarding each other.
Because y'all said Durant was a liability playing against a 4 and a 5, which I agree with. He's not built for that. He can do the 1, 2, and 3. He can't defend a 5 like a Giannis and get killed.
Depending on who the 4 or 5 is.
Depending on who, if he's covering a Cam Johnson at the 4, he can rock with a Cam Johnson. He can't rock with an Embiid.
But
or
again,
a
there's only
Giannis
about 5. There's only about a good 5
Listen,
players that play down low right now in the NBA. Maybe 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, go ahead.
Minus KD in the current NBA.
Yeah,
there's not a player that's gonna go out and roast Giannis. Not Mitchell, not Morant, not LeBron, not AD. Embiid is gonna give him that work. Not Joker, not anybody. He can guard all of them. You can't guard the unguardable with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is the most unguardable NC. So stop comparing 1 and 2.
You said LeBron. No, you said LeBron.
I only said that because they said he was better.
I said LeBron. But minus the flip side, KD can only guard 2 and 3s. And guess what? KD can't guard LeBron. We've seen it in the OKC. We've seen it in the finals.
Nah, he bodied him. When he wanted to score, LeBron didn't score on him, Ty. You can't
With the Warriors?
When KD when LeBron wanted to score and got down low, there's nobody can stop him when he did that.
LeBron beat him up when he played the OKC. LeBron beat him up.
We can't do that. I ain't gonna say he can't guard him, but if LeBron do bully ball, KD can't stop him if he do bully ball, bro.
No.
Nobody can stop LeBron if he do bully ball, to be honest with you.
Nobody.
Who?
Giannis can.
Yeah, Giannis can.
Why wasn't Giannis on KD in the series instead of PJ Tucker?
Giannis can stop him.
Cello, they won't answer my question, Cello.
I tried to ask you. Stop talking. I tried to ask you a question for you. You told me to stop
talking. Nobody can stop.
You said the coaches. Don't give me no cop out with coaches. I want to know why your best defender is not out on KD.
Offensively, nobody can stop KD.
Go ahead. Ruben, go ahead, and we're going to move on to the NBA bracket.
Hey,
go ahead.
Can I just say one? Can I
say one thing real quick? And I'm going to Ruben, and then I'm rapping with Cello, and we off KD Giannis. I promise.
There's only been one player on earth that's been as good defensively and offensively, and that's Jordan. Nobody has done that. So for us to say, okay, you got to do it on both sides, that's fine. But nobody's going to be as elite on defense as on offense.
Not even Kobe.
Who's just as the elite on defense as on offense?
Not even Kobe.
There's 4 of them in the league right now.
I'm talking about as elite. I'm talking about elite. Not talking about you can play defense. Elite defense. And that's only MJ. There's nobody has been that lethal on defense and offense.
That's a good question. So
nobody.
All right. So pause right there, Tyrone, before we get off of this. Who answer his question? Who are the elite that in your opinion, because it's your opinion, we can't break it down today because we'll be here for another 30 minutes. But who is it that can do both elite?
Who they call the club?
Ruben. That's a vote for y'all.
Kawhi.
He's not playing right now, but who they call the club? Kawhi, right?
Kawhi Leonard.
We go with that.
Kawhi Leonard is doing on both ends.
He asked the question, so I'm giving him his answer.
So you think Kawhi's
his running mate? His running mate.
I was about to say him too. Your boy in Miami.
Hold on.
Your boy in Miami.
So you gonna go with Paul George, even though Lillard hit the game with a 30 feet and on him with him D'ing him up. You gonna still give him that?
You gonna go out 30 feet away from the basket? Come on, man. Come on, man.
Mike George moments.
How much did Lillard average in that series? Let's be real.
I'm asking.
You act like Lillard ain't kill him in that series, and PG was on him. Yes or no?
Did Lillard realize?
Yes, that game shot won the series.
Y'all fail to realize is they do pick and roll. They get the players off of them.
Agree.
So we can't go with a person killing a person like that. Damian will kill you. Let's get that straight. He will. Yeah. He will give you that work. But when you put a person one-on-one, imano, with no picks, no pick and rolls, we don't know what happened. We don't know. We see it happen every so often.
like the Kawhi Leonard on that list. So let me get. I'm not to cut you off, Ruben. Go ahead. Finish your thought. Then we're gonna get back to that elite.
Kawhi is not
Kawhi
elite.
Leonard, in
Is
your
not
opinion,
as elite.
is
Kawhi is a
elite
better
on both levels.
defensive player than an offensive player.
Oh, Lord.
Kawhi is a way better defensive player than an offensive player.
I don't have a problem with that. I think healthy. He's
way
elite.
better defensively than offensively.
I can't.
That's why
Tyrone, make sure you come on the show more often, Tyrone. Tyrone, make sure you come on the show more often.
All right, so Ruben, that's who you got as Kawhi. David, who do you have as somebody that can do both elite?
Giannis is the most complete dominant player in the NBA right now.
So he can do both. At an
Don't worry about the jump shot. I'm talking about numbers and I'm talking about results.
You have to put the jump shot in there. Otherwise, he's a liability.
But that's not his game, though. Isn't he a down low guy? He don't play.
He is, but you can.
He runs the court.
Hold on. You cannot sit here and say he is elite offensively if he has no jump shot. Like how? You got to be all around. That's what I'm saying.
But Shaq didn't have a jump shot. Don't we call Shaq elite?
That means elite. That means you have it all, and you don't have.
He's scoring 28 points a game, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks. That's all around.
That's why I said Mike.
All right, so
that's why I said Mike.
Everybody got their opinion. So David said,
I'm gonna give you
Tyrone.
Since you like facts.
Yo, Tyrone, give me who's elite today? Is there anybody today that's elite on both levels?
We just gave you 4. You said you wanted 4.
Right now, today? No, there's nobody that can do it on not as elite on offense and defense. No,
nobody today.
Right now in the NBA, there's nobody.
Wow.
I love
that's why.
Listen, I'm gonna give you some stats.
Hold on, let me get Cello. Nobody else talk. Let me get Cello. Mark, what's up? So I didn't know this was gonna turn to this. I didn't know, but it's a good combo. Cello, is there anybody that is elite on both sides of the ball in today's game? Tyrone says nobody, and you heard what?
Kawhi. Listen, Kawhi got 2 rings like KD got 2 rings.
You talking about the rings?
Hold up, Tyrone, don't cut him off.
Wait, hold on. I'm just saying. KD got 2 rings with the Warriors, right?
Yes.
Where else? Who he won 2 rings with?
He won.
What does that mean?
Yeah, he wasn't
a
finals,
get a ring somewhere.
But he was in the finals with OKC though, so we're not gonna act. And he was in a championship last year.
With 2 teams.
We can't act like
we won a ring with 2 with San and with Toronto. He's elite on offense and defense. He's just hurt right now.
So Kawhi is your guy. All right, so
can we get healthy again?
Okay. All right, so let me break it down. Mark, I hope you hold on. Nobody say nothing. Nobody say nothing. Mark, I don't know how much you heard, but in case you
I heard everything. And it pissed me off sitting there listening to half of the things David was saying. You sitting there disrespecting Blake. Last year, Blake posterized Giannis. Nobody's scared of Giannis. He's not Shaq, dog. We got to do it. And just so you guys know, Ruben, only reason the Nets went home is because, wait. Only reason the Nets went home is because that size 18 caught the paint of that three-pointer. You wouldn't even be having this conversation if his size 18 wouldn't have caught the paint of that three-pointer. And KD is the most dominant thing in the league, right? Let me get my time, because I heard a lot of crap.
Nobody interrupted you.
Heard a lot of crap.
You got your time.
Talk that, man.
I don't want to mute nobody. Don't nobody talk. I heard all y'all got to hear Mark, and I'm going to let y'all rebuttal.
Just sitting there disrespecting all defensive player Kawhi Leonard like he ain't that dude because he hurt. You're forgetting about Paul George too, the best backcourt, the best 2 defensive superstars in the league. All of a sudden, y'all don't recognize them.
That's what we
said. Don't sit here and talk that, man. And matter of fact, I need to ask David this question. David, you talking about defense? Tell me about James Harden defense. Let me know about that Matador defense that he play on the nightly basis. Trash.
No,
he plays no defense.
Angry, but everybody on this show is. Everybody on this show is angry, but everybody on this show is not saying it.
And I'm done with it. I got one thing to say.
Hold on. Ruben,
Mark,
go ahead. Ruben, make you address Mark, and Mark, I'm gonna ask you a question because you didn't answer the question.
Kevin Durant is this dude on offense, and Giannis is not. Right?
I said Kevin Durant is. I heard what you said. He is the most dominant dude on offense, but don't act like KD don't play defense.
That's
Y'all
what
making
I'm
it look like
saying.
he plays no
That's all I'm
defense.
saying. I don't know
That's
what y'all
ridiculous
watching.
to
Like
even
he don't
say
play
something like
defense.
that.
Oh,
He doesn't
boy.
play defense. Who said that?
He plays
Let me
defense
give y'all
against two
some stats.
positions.
Hold on, let me give
Ask
y'all
your
some stats.
let me ask a
Let me
question
give
real
you
quick.
some stats. Can I give you
Who?
some stats?
Wait, who do 50 up on KD? That's what I want to know.
That's
Who
what I
has thrown
said.
50 up on
Nobody.
That's
KD?
killing him that
He's
y'all
Nobody.
make
so
that
bad on
statement.
defense. Who
Nobody.
Zero.
threw up 50 on KD?
Nobody.
Nobody's killing him.
Nobody.
Nobody.
I can't talk.
Nobody.
That's why I said that. Go ahead, Ruben. Go
Who
ahead.
is
You
KD
answer.
guarding? Who is KD guarding?
Hey,
Who's he
David, you
guarding?
act
Whoever you
like,
want him to
He
guard.
hey,
can't guard
David.
Steph.
Hold up, Mark.
He
Hold up.
can't
Let
guard
David say his
Harden.
question.
He can't guard
Come
Steph. He can't guard Harden. He can't guard Lillard. He can only guard LeBron and the rest of those threes. Get out of here. Get
Yo,
out of here.
yo, for a man
Yo,
wearing a James
act
Harden, you
like
wearing that
KD
James
has no
Harden or
defense
Joel
is
Embiid.
crazy.
Nah, that's
I
fair.
think
That's
Joel
fair,
was the
Mark.
line
That's
like
fair.
17 times, and they still lost. If you
That's
want to
Mark.
honestly
I mean,
talk about
that's
defense, right now, the biggest liability on a supposed championship team is James Harden because he stops nobody. Nobody. And I've been watching this dude for years, especially when he went to the Nets. He does not play defense. That's why they got blown out tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, Sixers don't have no bench now. You ain't got no 3-point shooting now.
Facts.
You ain't got no bench now. Now, when you go deep into the playoffs and somebody comes in foul trouble, guess what? You got these bums on it or coming off the bench. They're not Curry. You know, I don't kind of get what the big deal is with KD when if you look at the dude's game, he comes up with humongous blocks. He's long, he's tall. And the reason you going at him is because he don't play the 4 or the 5. Why should he when he's athletic? You wasted the talent putting him down low. What makes that make no sense?
I said that. I said he's not
Ruben
going to
didn't
play
say that.
4 or 5.
David didn't say that. Ruben said that, but David made it sound
Okay,
like
now wait, I got
overall
another one.
defensively
If
he's a
you got to play
threat.
the 4 or 5, and you saying he does that, let Giannis play the same position at point forward that KD plays. Guess what? Giannis can't because his J ain't good enough. He ain't off the dribble good enough. He's a power player, yes, but is he a finesse
David,
top?
I'm gonna give you a second. I'm gonna give it to you.
5'4"? No way, man. Come
No,
on.
he's not.
Y'all silly.
He's not.
Y'all silly.
Mark, thank you for your point. Tyrone, thank you for your point. Ruben, thank you for your point. David, go ahead so we can get ready to close this out. Mark, thank you for that. I'm glad you heard it. So
Y'all silly.
I was thinking,
I was in the house fuming. I was in the house fuming off of David. I was in the house fuming off of David. You mustn't even check the chat because I was all over the chat.
It's not in the chat. It's nothing there from you. I don't have nothing from you in the chat. Go ahead, David.
I got it on the Facebook chat. That's why.
I'm in the Facebook chat. I don't see you.
Minus his jump shot, he had a season where he was a starting point guard. Minus his jump shot, he had a season where he was a starting shooting guard. So he was guarding twos and he was guarding ones. And when he played point guard, when Jason Kidd was the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, he averaged 17, 7, and 7. Stop telling me that Giannis can't do it all. Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
Come on. Giannis is long, big, and strong. And I'm going to give you all of that. But if we're going on a series, there's no way if you put Giannis on Durant, that's 60 easy. He blowing by him all day long.
No, it's not because KD will foul out. Because KD would have to play him the other end. Let's stop saying that.
All you gotta do is let Giannis shoot
for 60 minutes. Playing each other for 60 minutes. KD will be on the bench for 30
Just let him shoot.
Giannis take him down in that post.
David, so explain to me. So David, hold on. So David, explain to me how come KD can play point forward and guards will guard him and he'll blow past guards, but you're telling me a 6'11", 260, 70-pound dude can stay. If he on the perimeter, you telling me if KD's on the perimeter that Giannis is going to be able to guard him from the perimeter in? It's impossible. Guards can't even guard him from the perimeter in.
Talking about what KD will do to him. If they have to guard each other a whole game, 60 minutes, what Giannis going to do to him? He's going to make him foul out. Y'all crazy.
Come on, man. Only thing Giannis gonna do is
This
try
is
to
on the
back him down.
perimeter,
That's
David,
about
you
it.
talking about, or you talking about only in the paint? Because I think KD can guard him on the perimeter, dude, as opposed to in the paint. No way. KD gets killed in the paint, but perimeter, I don't know.
Yeah, all day. Matter of fact, KD will let him shoot that jumper. Go ahead, I dare you. And I guarantee you he missed 6 out of 12 of them. I can guarantee that. His J ain't automatic.
He won't even give him 6.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
David. Go ahead, David.
thank you,
David,
Doc.
you closing this out, and we going. We gonna. Yo, I love this. This is fanatics at its finest. Go ahead, David.
I still ain't give my stats, but go ahead.
Oh, you got your stats. Hey, then after David, give me your stats, and we can transition right there. Make sure you got your. Now, just know you're gonna get a rebuttal to them stats. If it's an opening,
Ain't no rebuttal to stats. Ain't no rebuttal to stats.
All right, we gonna see. Go ahead, David.
Giannis cannot stop KD. Nobody can stop KD.
Point taken.
However, if they are guarding each other for the entirety of a 60-minute game, KD not getting 60. He getting 6 fouls, and he's going to the bench before the 60 game is over.
Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Let him get his point. Let him get his point. Let him get his point. I got you. We heard you. All right. So my question to that again: when they faced head to head, why was Giannis not on him?
It's a team sport. Why wasn't KD
Oh,
on Giannis the whole game?
KD don't play the five. You don't play the five. Your boy play every possession. You said.
I know he did not just say it's a team sport.
I'm not putting KD on him.
I know he didn't just say that.
I got you.
I
I got you. I heard you. I got you, David. David, I'm here. I got you. I got you. I'm just saying. There's some there's some holes.
Blake Griffin who dunked on him.
I hear you.
Blake Griffin who posterized them and put him in the mood forever. Blake Griffin.
We can't give Blake that.
That same Blake that posterized him. Yeah, posterize him. Mano a mano.
Ruben, get that stat. What up, Ace? I see you. Go ahead, get your stat, Ruben. Ruben, get ready because I know Tyrone, Cello, and Mark probably ready. Go ahead, get your stat.
I'm gonna say 2 things.
Nobody interrupt him. Go ahead, get your stat.
Kevin Durant plays small forward,
Yep.
sometimes power forward, but not on defense. He guards the smaller defender.
Right.
That's facts. Now, let's go to Giannis. Giannis plays center power forward. We already discussed that, where his strong suit is. Now, let's look at stats for this year. Guess who averaged more points per game? Giannis.
Giannis is closer to the basket, though, right? Isn't he right down?
KD
let me finish.
KD missed 30 games.
I'm saying if we're gonna get that stat, we gotta give the full.
KD missed 30 games.
Hold up, though. My bad,
missed
Ruben.
30
I interrupted you.
games.
Go ahead. Let Ruben finish his stat. Then we're gonna wrap this up.
What
I
he's
promise.
going to realize is if they average it by the games he missed, it will be lower. They're going by the games he's played, not the games he's missed. So
Got you. We got you. Point taken.
This is Giannis stats: 29.7.
Yes.
Per game.
Yes.
11 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block.
Phenomenal.
Here's Kevin Durant, 29.1.
Yes.
5 assists.
Right.
7 rebounds, 0.7 steals, 0.9 blocks. They're close on the defensive stat. They're close on everything across the board.
Right.
So it's 2 different styles. One shoots from the perimeter most, and one is in the hole the most. What we were talking about when we started off at the beginning of this conversation was who's a better overall defender. Can you sit here and say Kevin Durant is a better overall defender than Giannis?
Not better.
We never said that.
You just gave literally helped our argument a tremendous amount. He's right there statistically with him on the defensive side.
We never said he was better defensively.
No, we never said that. That was never the argument.
But he is.
We never said that. We just said he wasn't a liability. Y'all called him a liability. What you just read is not a liability.
Hold on.
And center. That's what we said, right?
Got you.
We never said he was better defensively. We never said he was better defensively.
Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
We never said he was better defensively. We just said that KD is way better offensively. Like way better offensively.
We already said that.
So that's what I'm saying. So it wasn't.
We just
Y'all
wasted an
just
hour.
said that KD
No,
can't
we
play
didn't.
defense.
Not in a sense. We didn't because we was good until y'all said he was a liability on defense.
Correct.
Yes. How
Statistically, what you just said is not a
You just said
liability.
they're not that far off of defense. You just brought up the
all
stat.
5.
Agreed. But
He
that
just
don't
brought
mean
up the
that
stat.
KD's a liability based on what Ruben
If he
just
just
read.
said they're close, if he just said they're close in stat,
Oh
how is he
yeah,
a
against a
liability?
That's what
5.
I said the whole time.
No, that's what you said. That's not what David said. David said he was a liability. Period. I heard
That's
y'all
what made me pause.
No. That's not what
said
he
he can
said.
That's what made me
I said he
pause.
can guard 2 and 3.
Mark heard it.
Hey,
Can't
Mike,
guard
run the
more.
Mark
tape.
That's
heard
what
it.
made me
Tyrone
pause.
heard it. Cello heard
You
it.
said
David,
he was
you
a
said he was a
liability.
liability.
You
Period.
said he was a liability on defense.
You said he was a liability on defense, not Ruben. Ruben didn't say that. Ruben said against Giannis, he would be a liability. Yeah, agreed. But overall, not when you read them statistics. I can't.
No, I didn't say he was a liability on. I said we both said he can stick the small forward.
Yeah,
the
agreed.
Guard.
Yeah.
He can stick the
Hey,
back.
y'all contradict. I hear a lot of contradicting
Listen,
right now.
there's some holes. There's some holes, but
right
listen,
now.
Fanatics Live for the fans, by the fans. I'm a realist thing because we just get, hey, KD and Giannis, when y'all see this, you see the passion for y'all. We stopped talking NBA, everything else, just to focus on how great y'all two would be in the matchup. But then again, y'all met face to face, but you didn't cover each other. So that ain't nothing to do with us. As Ruben said, that's coaching. I don't get it. I'm gonna throw my best defender on him, but hey, vice versa. I get it. That's coaching. I get that. You don't throw KD on Giannis because he's gonna kill him in the post, but you don't throw Giannis on KD in the perimeter because he's gonna cook him. So I get it. Makes sense. So, but the liability on KD, there's some holes in that, but you take your stance however you want. But in terms of this moderator, I can't just let that fly. That's how once y'all said that, I had to stop and hit pause because we needed to address that. You made Mark jump on the air. He was like sick to his stomach. He had to come on because he heard that KD was a liability.
I thought David was having some after effects from Russell Wilson going to Denver, knowing that they won't make the playoffs no more, and he's just talking crazy. That's what I thought it was when I first heard him talk.
Oh man, that's what I thought too, man. Listen, all right, so we're all for KD and Giannis. I will just show y'all this one thing so we can all kind of see it, so we can say that we at least did our due diligence in terms of looking at the NBA overall with the playoff picture. I will actually put that up on the screen for anybody that's watching. We're gonna actually be that's listening, or like Spotify, you can't see it. Just know that we're putting up on the screen and we're going to kind of dissect it a little bit so you can understand what we're talking about. So give me 1 second. Let me grab this real quick. Playoff picture. Hopefully y'all can all see it. I'm going to try to enlarge it and kind of reduce us because we don't need to be up here. And let me make this as big as possible. Give me 1 second. So if y'all can see the playoff picture, let me know.
Yeah, we see
So you got the playoff picture as it stands right now. Play-in starts April 12th. I do remember LeBron not being a fan of the play-in, saying that whoever invented it should be fired. That's a couple years ago. I wonder if he still feels that way now. Who knows? But let's see. Play-in tournament as it stands right now, y'all should be able to see everything. Anything sticks out to you? Lakers, New Orleans, Minnesota, LA, Charlotte, Atlanta in the building. Toronto, Brooklyn.
First thing that sticks out to me is that Brooklyn, because Kyrie can't play in Toronto.
No. Toronto didn't lift their mandate like the rest of the world right now. They still on it.
No.
Oh.
And if they win, guess what? Brooklyn's home, right?
Can't play in Brooklyn until they lift their mandate.
That's around the corner. So yeah, okay. All right, interesting. That's something to flag.
All y'all that's on KD, he this big score. Let's see what he do.
They're gonna mash Toronto out.
Ruben gonna find a way to put it back in there. I see you, Ruben. I see what you did there. Go ahead, Mark.
They don't need it. They don't need Kyrie for Toronto, man. They got enough weapons to be able to beat Toronto. This ain't the Kawhi Leonard Toronto. They're gonna smash them up. And then by the next round, New York will lift that mandate, and then Kyrie will be back in the building. It's right now. If you're looking at anything after tonight's game, and you think the Sixers was the best in the East, right now Brooklyn is letting you know that when they're at full strength, they're a problem, a complete and utter problem. And it ain't really, to be honest, from what I saw tonight, it ain't really KD and Kyrie. It's everybody around them.
Everybody else around them. Yep.
You know, you got Curry now. You know, and this is the thing that kills me the most when I think about the Nets. Harris isn't even there. Harris, imagine if Harris, and you got Harris on one wing, and then you got on the other wing, and they just will be shooting threes left and right, and have wide open practice threes. But Toronto shouldn't be a problem. Second round is a different story, but right now I don't see Toronto as being a problem for them. Ruben, I just don't see it, man.
Okay, Ruben? What about your Atlanta and Charlotte, man? Because you know that's a great matchup with Ball and your boy going head to head.
We missing our main man, man. He hurt, so we'll see.
Who's that?
Our power forward / center. What's the boy name? I can't remember. Nobody named him.
Collins.
Yeah, Collins. He's hurt.
The dude that be posterizing everybody.
Yeah, he hurt. So we don't win without him. So we won a couple of games without him, but we'll see. We need him in the playoffs.
Okay.
Lakers is done.
Who's done?
Lakers is done.
So y'all don't see them. Y'all don't. I'm gonna say this in this document, and I'm gonna say this on air. Tyrone, if you there, I know you're gonna hate this, but I'm gonna say this anyway. If LeBron gets in the playoff, LeBron can turn it up. That's what I'm gonna say.
He been turning it up.
It's documented today that I said this, because when the bubble was here years ago and I called a cakewalk for the Lakers, y'all didn't listen to me. But I'm gonna say this now. LeBron gets them in. LeBron has a different gear.
No.
Watch how they magically turn it around. I ain't saying they're gonna win, but they're gonna make it a little scary. It's gonna be scary hours out here. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Homeboy averaging like 35 right now. He can't turn it up no more. He'll be averaging 45 if he going in the playoffs. He playing the best basketball he's been playing pretty much the whole year. He ain't got no support.
I'm standing on my statement, Market Tyrone. If the Lakers get in, LeBron has another gear. That's what I'm saying.
Who?
Tyrone, answer me back, Tyrone.
Against who? You see who the top teams in the West is? Who you think they gonna beat?
He has the same teams they beat before.
I think they could beat Dallas. They can
beat Dallas. They can't.
If he goes in at the 8th seed, he has to play Phoenix.
Denver. They can't beat Denver. They can't beat Golden State.
They beat Phoenix. They're not beating Phoenix. They're not beating Phoenix. There's no way they can beat Phoenix.
They're not beating
what
Phoenix.
about Utah? They can't beat Utah? Y'all really
No. They can beat Utah. They've actually beaten us 3 times this year.
Thank you, David.
In a 7-game series?
I'm a Jazz fan.
He's a Jazz fan. He's a Jazz fan. You cannot argue him. He's a Jazz fan, Tyrone.
We don't match up well with their size.
In a 7-game series.
We don't match
the
up
Lakers
well
the Lakers as we speak right now, who can't even shoot.
They
can beat the Jazz.
We just lost to the Lakers 10 games ago.
Yep. Like I said,
with Anthony Davis hurt, we don't match up well with their size.
It's like I said, it's documented. The Lakers get in. LeBron has another gear. It's gonna get scary. They'll magically start clicking. That's all.
The gear at home.
But can I say something about this bracket real quick? Because we always gonna go to the elite teams and the LeBron James teams. There's 3 teams in this bracket that's in playoff contention that really are doing a great job, and nobody's giving them the props that they deserve.
Who's that?
The Minnesota Timberwolves, the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers playing without absolutely nobody. Yes, and then the Cleveland Cavaliers for playing with their young pups, and they are like a 3rd or 4th seed right now.
Why are we talking about them? None of them gonna win the championship. There's nothing to talk about.
Just what they did throughout the season, you wouldn't have expected those 3 teams at the beginning of the season to be there.
I'm about to chip, man. I don't care who have a good season.
Let me ask y'all if y'all keep it real, because we know how y'all felt in regards to the playoffs and football teams making it. Oh, you make it, but if you don't win, that don't mean nothing. Does the same rules apply in basketball? I want to hear from y'all. Does the same rules that y'all had in football apply? You make it, but you don't win. It don't mean nothing. I need to hear from y'all.
Yeah,
it does apply. It don't make sense.
Apply, but
it applies.
So Cleveland.
It applies.
So even in Cleveland, like David said, that has nobody.
And that's fine, but they're doing it just to get to the playoffs and lose. They're not going nowhere.
When the playoffs come,
you doing that. You plan to have a good contract. Have a contract year, whatever it is. That's fine, but y'all not winning nothing.
Y'all tough,
gonna be a
man.
different piece.
So y'all are saying these guys just playing just to go to the playoffs to get a contract. That's what you're saying.
Can I give it up?
I mean, in all honesty, the teams know for the most part who's gonna be there. I mean, maybe you have one Cinderella team here and there, okay, but the teams that they talk about that's gonna be in the finals, even when the year starts, that's usually the teams that's there for a reason.
I just named three Cinderella teams.
Let me ask you this. They're gonna be in the playoffs, but that's it. That's where it ends. The playoffs ends. That's it.
Let me ask you this.
If Paul George don't come back and because they spotted Kawhi shooting Jays the other day, so we don't know what happened. Because they come back, this whole thing changes. I just wanted to give it up.
You can't come back the same year with that kind of sprain in his ACL. That's not happening.
I don't think so. Not until maybe the third round, maybe if that. Go ahead, Mark.
Now with the ACL sprain,
that's great. Yeah,
he ain't coming
Ruben,
back.
Go ahead, make your point. I don't want to stay on the NBA too long. We get like an hour and a half. Go ahead, Ruben.
So y'all mean to tell me in the NBA these other teams don't matter when we witnessed ourselves for year after year, an 8 seed upsetting the 1 seed and so forth. So you mean to tell me these other teams don't mean nothing?
I'm not saying they don't. That's what I said. There's a Cinderella team, but that's where it ends. They're not going to the finals to win. You might get to the semis, maybe even a Western. But as far as winning, it's not gonna happen. It doesn't.
I gotta highlight one team. I gotta highlight a team because I don't want to stay on them too long. This team is scary. Memphis is scary, guys. What do y'all think? Does anyone want to see Memphis right now?
No.
Nobody want to see Miami.
I said no.
Nobody want to see Miami.
Why not?
Nobody want to see Miami.
Nobody. Nobody wants to see
Miami. Don't get Cello started, please. Go ahead,
I ain't get him started. I'm just keeping it 100. Nobody want to see them Heat. Nobody want that series with the Heat.
What y'all
because they're gonna beat you up and they're gonna score you while they beat you up. And they got enough for Giannis. I would love to see Giannis play the Heat.
Ruben, that's your conference. I need to know what you think. Y'all, is that true what Mark said? Nobody wants to see the Heat?
That's true.
David,
I want to see the Heat.
A healthy Chicago team will beat the Miami Heat.
I agree 100%.
Bro, a healthy Chicago team will beat the Miami Heat in a 7-game series.
I agree.
That is what you said, Will. Healthy.
Why?
That goes in every sport.
Hold on, let me get Cello his moment because we talk about his team. Go ahead, Cello.
Yo, first and foremost, y'all picking up Chicago like they're gonna do damage in the playoffs. They not gonna do damage. They not. We already beat them 3 times in the season.
You lucky Steve not on, Cello. Go ahead.
Listen, I said it last week. Listen, we already beat them 3 times. We a bad matchup for that team. So don't even tell me about no Chicago right now.
Was that the healthy team though, or not the healthy team?
We wasn't healthy either at one point.
So have y'all beat them with Ball, Caruso, and Williams?
That's my question. That's my question too.
Victor Oladipo just got back, so now we got another player who we don't even have to beat. Oh, he got to give us a 70%. We good. But even without Victor, you know what I'm saying? We still beat Chicago. Listen, to me, Chicago's a season team. They're not a playoff team.
Y'all have
and they saw.
Y'all about to see that. Watch.
David got something to say to you, Cello. I need you to answer that. Go ahead, David. Ask him.
Williams has not played any games this year. Caruso hasn't played in the last 20. Ball has been missing games, and Levine knee is acting up. All 4 of them healthy.
They will beat y'all. They will beat y'all.
Jimmy Butler.
In Miami, they will beat y'all in Chicago. They will beat y'all in New Zealand. They will beat y'all in Greenland. They will beat y'all in Russia. They will beat y'all in Ukraine.
Oh God!
Cut it out.
David, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Kyle Lowry only played.
I see you, Mark.
About 80 minutes together the whole season.
Wow, that's it.
That's it. And look where we at first place.
Wow.
Oh,
so
am
I hearing it correctly? Is Cello saying that Miami is the team to beat for the East? Is that correct?
What I'm personally thinking, what I'm personally saying is nobody's backcourt, nobody's defensively in the league has better defensive guard. Jimmy Butler, everybody David named, you can literally stick Jimmy Butler on and they'll probably get shut down. Whoever else you name, you can put Kyle Lowry right there, and they'll probably get shut down. And then when you think you're going to drive it to the basket, Bam right there waiting right on you. So I don't know, because they don't have superstars, I guess y'all probably, most people think, oh, Miami's not. No, Miami is probably the worst matchup for including the Nets, for every single team in the league, because they are nailed.
Not only,
the way they play basketball is old school, and they bring it to you every single night, and they punish you down low. And if they shots is falling, you getting blown out the building, and that's a fact.
Wow. Not only that, but they don't have no drama either. Ain't no drama.
No, it's a good team. I'm not gonna say
Miami don't play egos. No, it's business.
It's business. It's business.
It's only one ego in Miami, and that's Pat Riley.
All right, so y'all flagged your team on the East. I got you. Who your team on the West? I need that same energy. Who on the West is the team that nobody wants to see?
Phoenix. I gotta give it to Phoenix.
The Grizzlies, and Dylan ain't even playing yet, and Dylan is a defensive dog. No, nobody wants to see the Grizzlies.
I'm going with the Grizzlies too, because y'all heard me say Ja Morant was the face of the
Phoenix
NBA.
beating the Grizzlies.
I think the Grizzlies was hot right now. If Draymond was to be able to come back, and we'll be doing the same thing about Golden State. You know, the East don't impress me like the West don't impress me like the East. I think whoever comes from the West still gonna get beat by a team in the East, because the East play the deep. All right, let's take it like in this point. The cream of the crop last year was the last year's champ, correct? Am I lying? Most of the time, if you are the champion, you're the cream of the crop. Right now, the champ is the worst team pretty much going into the playoffs, statistically and momentum. So if they're the worst team, don't get me wrong, I think Phoenix got a lot of talent, but I don't think Phoenix got
53 wins, Mark.
I get what you're saying. That don't mean nothing, Mick. Miami has shut that down, man. Bam Adebayo beat up on DeAndre Ayton, man. Kill him down there, man. Plus CP3 gets shut down by Lowry. Who gonna stop Jimmy Butler, man? What I've realized is the fact that Jimmy Butler can go both ways, offense and defense, not come out the game, not get tired, and give you the exact same effort on both sides of the court, just like Lowry's always done. And Bam, he just speaks. I just think that the West right now, I'm just not impressed, man. It's nothing that they more flash than they are substance, in my opinion.
Wow. So is that just because y'all like the bang 'em up style that the East has, opposed to the finesse style that the West has? Because that's what it sounds like, just a matter of preference.
I think it's the bench. I like benches, man. I'm sorry for cutting y'all guys off. Me personally, I like benches, man. I like if you're able to take your starter and insert the next guy, and he can step up to the plate. The bench on the East is most of the top contending teams is better than in the West.
Yeah, Miami is very deep in that.
Listen to what you just said. You said you like benches. Chris Paul has missed what? All the games since the All-Star games. Booker just came back, and Phoenix only lost 2 games with their bench. They lost 2 out of the last 7 games. Don't tell me that Phoenix ain't deep. Phoenix ain't deep.
We talk about playoff basketball, David. We ain't talk about regular season basketball. We talk about playoff basketball where CP3 normally chokes. Trust me, I know, because I was riding with the Clippers for 4 years, and I see him choke. That's what he does. He chokes. Big games, CP3 chokes.
Go ahead, Ruben.
Not what.
Go ahead,
Booker, on
Ruben.
the other hand, Booker's a stud.
Booker's a stud. All right, go ahead, Ruben. Go ahead, so I can move on throughout the rest of the bracket.
CP3 didn't choke. CP3 was the reason they went up 3-1. Your boy choked. That's over there in Philly now. He choked when he got hurt.
So who you talking about?
CP3 didn't choke.
In Philly, who?
He's talking the Houston Golden State series from
Houston Golden State series. CP3 was hurt after they went up 3-1. Your boy couldn't cash in.
He was hurt with the Clippers. He got hurt with the Clippers too. So guess what we saying basically? Every time he's in a big game, somewhere along the series, CP3 gonna get hurt because it's a proven fact. Clippers hurt, Houston hurt. I'm not.
Y'all lucky Jimmy not on here because he'll light y'all up talking about his boys. He'll give y'all some facts about his boys.
Broken and hurting is two different things, Mark. Being a choke and being hurt.
Hey, Ruben, don't get me wrong. I respect CP3 and I do like CP3. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like because over here, believe it or not, over in Hawaii, you get all Phoenix games, all Clippers games, all Lakers games, all Golden State games. And trust me, I just don't think that Phoenix bench is better than anybody on the East, especially when it gets to the thick of things and you're getting closer and closer to the championship. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay. I like that. All right, so y'all got the bracket in front of you. I'm gonna give you a second, literally, to look at it and pick your team. Who is coming out with the championship trophy this year? David, I'm gonna start with you because I see you got the glasses on. You probably know the bracket like the back of your hand. Who is it? Mind you, think about it closely because it's documented. So I want to see who is really a guru. I'm going to come back to this. The bracket is in front of you. Who is it that's coming out with the championship? David, I'm going to start with you, and I'm going across to everybody else. Go ahead, David.
I hate to use the word if, but I'm going to say if.
Okay.
If Golden State is healthy, nobody's beating them. If Golden State is not healthy, Milwaukee is going back and winning and they're going to two-peat.
Okay.
We keep getting Milwaukee and the dominance of Giannis.
Okay. Respect it. Thank you. Cello, I got you second on my list. You see the bracket. You got a chance to die. I got a feeling I know who you're going to say. But go ahead and say who you got winning the chip.
We ain't Pat Riley and them and built this roster to be in first place. They built it to win it all. Miami winning it all this year. What y'all talking about, man?
Cello is
this better than the bubble team.
Cello is agree. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I 100 way better than the bubble team.
And they hungry.
You don't want to change? You sure? Just record it. So you sure you want to stick by that?
Miami.
So if y'all get eliminated in the first round, you don't like you. All right. You sure? All right.
Yep.
Mark, who you got? Let's see who you got. The bracket is in front of you.
I'm gonna go off of my cousin. I'm gonna use the if you don't mind, David.
That's fine. You can use it because it plays in the scenario like.
I believe how David is thinking because I got to use it. If Kyrie is able to play his home games, I think Brooklyn will win. If he's not, and he's only subjected to away games, games with teams that allow him to play, if not Brooklyn, I'm going with Miami.
Wow. Okay. So either way, you got East no matter what. All right, Ruben, Atlanta Hawks. What you think, Ruben? Who you got winning the chip, Ruben?
I got if Miami stay healthy, I think they could win it all. But if not, I'm going with the Milwaukee Bucks, man.
Okay. Nobody picked any like surprises for me. I'm looking at the bracket and trying to see if there's anybody that's hard to read. Go to state. Hard to yeah, I'm gonna go with Brooklyn. I feel like Brooklyn, I'll use the if as well. If they allow Kyrie the ball and Simmons gets on the court, I feel like that trio is gonna be really tough, and them role players are stepping up. So I got the Brooklyn taking it. If not, and for some reason Kyrie can't play, I am definitely going with Memphis, man. I like these young boys and how they playing, and Ja is not scared of nobody.
He got to stay healthy though. He can't get hurt. We'll hurt him in the playoffs.
Well, listen, they was winning without him too, but they do need him in the playoffs, for real. But he not scared. He don't care who on the floor. He is not intimidated. I love that about him. So yeah, man, this is the NBA bracket. NBA, we gave y'all 2 hours. 2 hours. We only give NFL that. So y'all better respect the amount of love we gave y'all tonight. So, we're not even done. We still got, for those that's going to stay on, we got a couple more minutes to tackle free agency and a couple other things because we got like 25. I'm going to get 2 hours and 5 minutes. I'm going to get about another 25 minutes and then we're going to wrap. All right, so that's it for NBA. Anything else I need to cover on this bracket or that y'all want to highlight before I close this bracket out? Is there anything? We covered everything, right?
Free Blake Griffin.
Out the West.
Free Blake Griffin.
Free Blake. Send him to the Lakers. Let him play with LeBron so he can average 30. That's why I wish they would, man. Free Blake, man. Free Blake, man.
Funny, man. funny. All right, so we're gonna get off of that one and we're gonna go to NFL, man. NFL, we gotta touch on it. Free agency. It's not even here yet, technically, and it's already free agent moves going on, man. We're gonna highlight obviously the first one, a personal favorite of Mr. Cello, his boy re-signed. They said it's reported 4 years, 200 million. Get that money, man. Get that money. Even though he got beaten at home and got sent home quick, but whatever the case is, he got his money. How y'all feel about Aaron Rodgers going back to Green Bay? I didn't think it was gonna happen. I thought he was gone, bro. Are y'all upset? Are you like enough for him? Did you want to see it? How you feel about this, man?
It was hard. I want to be. It was hard for me not to see him. It was hard for me to see him going somewhere else and not staying in Green Bay. I just felt he was gonna stay in Green Bay, man. Even with all that going on, I was like, nah. He just seemed like just Green Bay's just it, man, for him. So I ain't surprised about that deal.
It's not surprising.
I thought for sure we was gonna finagle that trade, man. Give up a first.
We got no money.
G, get him, man. I thought we was gonna do it. Yeah, we would have been able to afford that contract.
Y'all wouldn't have been able to afford him, dog.
Not that money. Not that money. Now, mind you, he came back, David, and he was like, "No, the particulars of the contract ain't exactly what y'all putting out there." But and then they went and franchised Devontae. That's dirty, son. Dirty. David, what you think, man?
I always knew he was going back. He just liked the attention. He liked to hear his name called out, and he knew he was going to make $50 million. He was not going to make $50 million anywhere else.
Wow.
He was not. Teams didn't have that money. Teams didn't even come close to having that money until the new cap number came out. So he had no choice but to go back there, make $153 million guaranteed to be there. But my thing is this: in 2023, I'll even give him this year as a bye. I do not want to hear him complain about I don't have help when I am now officially 1/4 of my team salary cap. I don't want to hear that.
Thank you, David. Thank you,
David. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. I hadn't used it all night, but I had to use it on that one. Absolutely, man. Russell Wilson is now a Denver Bronco, and Terrence is not here, thank God, because I sure would hear him for a good 20 minutes. He would go into, he would just go. He would go. I told you, Joker. I told you, sucker. I know.
David, stop using your chair like that, David. You look depressed by that news, son.
Ruben, his Raiders have dropped from the top of the mountaintop to the bottom of the mountaintop in that division overnight. What in the world, Ruben? Should David be afraid? Very afraid?
Yes, he should. You know why? Because guess who else has made some key defensive things happening? San Diego.
Formerly San Diego Chargers have added another addition. Y'all old boy from Las Vegas, Khalil Mack, is going over there.
Goodness. Him and Bosa, Mark. Ruben, him and Bosa. Goodness. Listen.
Yo, they got the Raiders. They got the Raiders right now in the tight squeeze. The Raiders have to pull out a rabbit out of their hat right now, because right now it's almost like everybody in their division is sitting there scooping up the best free agents.
Wheeling and dealing, buddy. Wheeling and dealing. David.
Hey, David. I'm sorry, Mike. David, to your credit, though, you still got a strong foundation. You just got a couple of things missing, so it ain't like, you out of the game. It's just the fact that Russell Wilson, went to a team that's kind of young and loaded. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that they will miss Noah Fant. There's no question in my mind that they're gonna have to replace him. It's not like you can just up, because this kid was talented, but I just think Russell Wilson can just bring a different profession than they're used to. That they're used to, like as in the Peyton Manning, John Elways. Russell Wilson gonna bring that same type of persona to Denver. You know what I'm saying? And they probably end up loving him, man. I think they're gonna love him, man.
Go ahead, David. I'm gonna bring my Denver comment that we was on the chat at the end. So go ahead, David. Y'all already know. I'm not letting that go. Go ahead.
They're not gonna miss no offense because they drafted a guy last year from Missouri who is nice and can play and go. We went from having the second best quarterback in the league to having the worst quarterback in the conference. And that's only because of the development of Herbert. Herbert is going to keep getting better. Yep. Wilson is top 5, where Carr is only top 10. And obviously Patrick Mahomes is 1, 2, or 3. You pick your cherry. So I'm just hoping the season ain't here yet. So I can sweat now. I can sweat now until next Wednesday, draft in April. But I'm just hoping that we do things to maintain and get us above water. The only good note out of this is we play the NFC West next year, so that's 4 games that I can already count.
We're the hardest division over us.
That's 4 wins right there. I just got to pick my wins wisely. I got to pick my wins wisely right now. 4 against the NFC West. We play the AFC South. That's 6 games. I gotta get this 9-10 games together because they're not coming out of it.
If you said the NFC East, I would be like, yes. Between the Commanders and the Giants, you can get a good 2 wins right there. But you said the NFC East, West that had
the West. I'm not worried about y'all.
I don't know, man.
I'll tell you right now, without the draft and free agency, we sweeping the West. I'm not worried, especially with Russell over here. We sweeping the West.
Okay. Just remember, Russell only threw 25 touchdowns this year. Don't act like he had this phenomenal year. And he played 14 games. So we're not going to act like he had this phenomenal year because he did not.
He did not. One foot out the door, in the league.
Yeah, he do 25 touchdowns. My boy Jimmy G, who was low on the totem pole, do 22. I'm just saying. He ain't even throw for 4,000 yards. Just so y'all know. So
nobody picking up Jimmy G.
This year. Don't go last year. Look at this year. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Nobody's picking up Jimmy G though. Ain't nobody knocking on his door to try to go and get Jimmy Garoppolo.
He going to New Orleans or Indianapolis. We getting the first or second. It's happening this week. It'll probably happen tomorrow. Just putting it out there to y'all. But in terms of so Khalil Mack is with the Chargers, as Ruben brought it up. David, is there any truth to what Richie has been saying? It's time to trade Derek Carr. He keep talking about Deshaun Watson. Is he just blowing smoke, or is that a Raiders conversation?
He's still under contract with Houston for I think 2 more years.
Oh, so they not doing nothing with that? Go ahead, David.
And they still trying. They still trying to get him for that sexual harassment stuff. It's just under the rug, but he's still going through that.
Is there any y'all try to move Derek Carr? What's going on, David?
Here go the thing, and Richie has been a Raider fan longer than I have been, so I don't know why he's so crazy on this matter, right? Richie remembers the quarterbacks we had: Todd Marinovich, Tuiasa Sopo, Jeff George, Vince Evans. He remembers that bad list. Dan McGuire's. I can keep on and on for days. Richie remembers those bad lists of quarterbacks before we had Derek Carr. Why would he be in such a rush to get rid of him is beyond me.
So in your mind, Carr's not going nowhere.
not going anywhere.
Okay. All right. So we got the fact that, like I said, Khalil Mack is there. You got, what about Devontae Adams being franchise tagged? Was that a dirty move, or was this it's business? What you think, Mark?
It's part of keeping Aaron Rodgers happy. You have to keep Aaron Rodgers happy. You're not gonna say, I'm giving you $50 million, but I'm taking away your best receiver. Because you do that, then Aaron Rodgers is gonna say, I'm gonna play this 1 year, I'm gonna cry retirement, and then trade me next year.
I just think that I think he had no choice, like David said, but by franchising him, you might have going to receive on your hand because he wants to get paid. You know what I'm saying? There is no Aaron Rodgers without Devontae Adams. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Devontae can bring those services anywhere in the league and do the exact same thing. You know, even Aaron Rodgers could do pretty much the same, but when it comes to them in general, I think Devontae Adams is looking for his payday.
Okay. Cello, I gotta come to your NFC West. You should be nervous. Carson Wentz is now with the Commanders. Roll out.
NFC East.
Yep. Carson Wentz is now with the Commanders, buddy. You nervous?
Come on, man.
I mean,
really?
He was dominant when he was with y'all in that conference, man. You know that division. You're not scared.
You being serious? You being serious?
I'm saying. Remember when he was there? He brought him to a Super Bowl when he was with Philly back before the whole
who brought him to the Super Bowl?
Remember, he got them to the Super. Carson Wentz.
No.
Who got them to the Super Bowl?
Nick Foles, bro. Come on, man.
Well,
come on, man.
Carson had a great year. Then he got hurt, right?
Nope. And what happened last year?
Nah, he didn't look good last year. He didn't look good for the Colts.
What we got to worry about?
He threw bad picks against
the
Jacksonville Jaguars, man. So you're not nervous? You trying to tell me that you're not worried about the Commanders rollout? You ain't worried about the Commanders rollout?
First off, I heard that little shot you tried to take when you talked about the Raiders beating the Giants. They didn't even beat us last season. So what you talking about? Like,
there you go. Good point.
Like, that's a win for the Raiders. Come on, man.
Good point.
And but as far as I did want to mention about the Russell thing.
Yeah.
I think Broncos really ain't have nothing to lose, man. Why not make that move? Honestly, this is a quarterback-driven league. Like, that's the move you make. That's the move you make. I think that was when I saw the news, I was like, wow. That's the move you make. So I had to commend them for that. But as far as because honestly, I was also one of the ones that said all they need is a quarterback, man.
Why y'all keep saying that?
Honestly,
what is it about Denver that make y'all think they stack like that? What team am I watching?
I mean, Russell with that team last season.
He makes them. He
elevates them. And then it's hard.
Remember Denver needs y'all.
Denver's one of the hardest places to play at, man. With a real good team, it's hard to win in Denver. It ain't that easy to win in Denver. So now you got Russell Wilson, who also can make plays on his own, who's also a Super Bowl winning champion.
But he's not throwing the DK Metcalf no more. He ain't throwing a Lockett no more. And
but look what happened over there, though.
Great receivers.
He's throwing the Jerry Judy.
He knows. Denver's elite, bro. Y'all not gonna do that. Y'all not gonna do that.
Patrick, Sutton, Campbell was hurt last year, and I keep telling y'all the kid from Missouri. I can't pronounce his name. That's why I don't never say it in the chat line. Those weapons are better in Denver than the weapons he had in Seattle.
And actually, he might even make plethora. They might even look better than what they are now with him.
I'm telling you,
they might look better.
And they got a running game.
Quarterback will make
they got. I'm not sold on that running game. I still feel like they got to pick their poison. Who the starter? Like, y'all got to make up your mind who your starter is. Because
Green is the starter. Because the other guy's a free agent.
No, Terrence was telling me Williams is the starter.
That's the thing. Tavion Williams
is the starter. Should be the starter.
So I'm gonna put I hate that I even got to talk about this because we're late, but we on the chat. It's documented on the chat that I mentioned this before. Some of the other pundits put it out there. I see, and I said what they did for what they gave up for Russell is Super Bowl or bust for them, hands down. If they do not win a Super Bowl, don't talk to me because you gave up the house for him. So let's be real, because if it was any of our other teams, that would be the census. If the Cowboys did this, if the Niners did this, we would all be like, yo, all of that y'all gave up, y'all better win. So if they don't win,
we don't do stupid trades like that. We don't do stupid trades like that.
Y'all looking to trade Lavelle Collins too, by the way. He on the trading block. I didn't see that.
Yes.
Hey, listen, David, before you chime in, bro, I just want to say nobody's more happier than Kirk Cousins going to the Commanders than I am, because we own them. Cello, you should be just as happy because they will be the laughing stock of the NFC East with them goofy uniforms. So we're gonna blow them out. And yo,
Mark, did you hear your brother ask me that question, man? Did you hear your brother ask me the question?
I don't know why he keeps
about them?
I would probably take Carson Wentz over Kirk Cousins. I don't know.
Commanders roll out. No, nobody like y'all not feeling the Commanders roll out. Y'all not with me.
Can I sound like a made-up team,
Commanders roll out.
Made-up team, man.
Can I ask a serious question?
Thought that would work for them.
Two serious questions.
Yes.
How do I get an application to become the GM of the Washington Commanders, and why did they give up 2 first-round picks? I mean, 2 second-round picks.
2 second. I thought it was a second. I thought it was a second, a third that had turned into a second if Kirk Cousins plays 70% of the snaps.
Carson wins.
I'm sorry, we own both of them. I'm sorry, we own both of them, and they the same person to me. Kirk Cousins, Carson Wentz, the same dudes to me. We own them.
Oh man!
And not only that, they took on his full contract. What was Washington thinking?
Yeah,
I don't know. You know what I think, David? I think that they had every intentions of getting Willis, and realized after his pro day that he might not be available when they come, so they didn't want to go with any other quarterback because Washington got to make a splash at quarterback. Like they have to make a splash at quarterback. No, don't get me wrong. Carson Wentz isn't that splash, but if you don't get I mean,
is it Malik Willis?
Is just probably the best quarterback out there, as in it comes to showbox value. You know what I'm saying? If you want to pack the stadium in for the Commanders' first game, and Willis was the starter, everybody coming to that game. You know what I'm saying? That's like flash for RG3.
He looks like Haskins to me. I'm sorry. What am I? Are we not looking at the same?
No.
He's not RG3. I'm not gonna say he's not RG3.
He come across as special to me. He come across. I don't want him in my division. Put it like that. I don't want him.
That's my reluctance is I've never seen a Liberty quarterback in the league ever. Like ever. The last Liberty player that I remember balling was my man, the running back for the that was with the Giants, Jennings. That's the last like Liberty guy that I could point out. So I don't know what to go by because competition. I don't know. Go ahead, David.
Here go the thing, right? I think they got nervous when Seattle leapfrogged them because Seattle essentially went from whatever pick it was to going to 9th. So I can understand Washington getting worried.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to tell me that Carson Wentz is an upgrade over Taylor Heineke. That made no sense.
He's a better game manager than Taylor Heineke, but I agree with you. He's not that much more better than Heineke. And plus, every team
when he ran the NFC East when he was there, man. Disrespecting the Commanders, man. Roll out. Carson Wentz when he was in the NFC East, man.
We ran him out the East.
You hear the
Marcelo, we
disrespect?
ran him out the East. Marcelo, then we run him out the East. That's why he went to Indianapolis. Now he back home, and everybody knows that he's prone to get hurt, prone to throw picks, prone to do stupid stuff. The worst thing he could have ever did was go to a team like Washington, who's still in rebuilding mode. Man, I don't think it was a good choice. I think it's a typical Washington stupid choice, though. Yeah, that's what they do. They stupid.
Now, David, I'm seeing that y'all are about to release Littleton. Is that correct? Because I'm seeing that's being speculated right now.
Yeah, he just doesn't fit. He doesn't fit what Graham wants defensively. We let go of him. Haywood, we tried to negotiate with him, even though it's not negotiating season, but he wanted to go ahead and hit the free agent market. Mm-hmm. So we have holes back there. But Littleton, I said this, and this is not me being funny or disrespectful.
Okay.
The moment you get him not with Aaron Donald in front of him, he's a below average linebacker. And he came to us. And guess what? Aaron Donald not in front of you no more. So you now have to go up against these guards and tackles. And guess what? He couldn't do it. Oh, you have to cover in the middle of the field a little bit longer. And he couldn't do that. No.
And on top of that, David, he's undersized. Yes. He's not even 245. He's very undersized. So I remember, God bless him, when Meg used to talk about him, I explained to Meg, he'll never last in the middle. It's impossible for a guy like that to last in the middle if the defensive line ain't premium. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
I said that when we signed him, we also signed Kowalski from Chicago. And I said Kowalski would be a better linebacker than what Littleton was, and he proved out to be exactly that. He's still on the team. Middleton is going to say, hey, Aaron Donald, can you get me back on the Rams? That's what's about to happen.
Ruben, Falcons are quiet as a church mouse right now. I haven't heard y'all do any. Like, do y'all even care? Like, what's going on? Y'all not doing anything.
Hey, we're over the salary cap for one. Even if we get rid of Matt Ryan, we still take a big hit.
Wow.
So they was talking about sending him to the Colts, but they say that might not happen because we still gonna eat a lot of that money and we're over the salary, I think, by 7 to 8 million right now.
Whose contract is eating that up? Y'all don't even have no big
Matt Ryan. Like Matt Ryan, $46 million. 48. 48. His dead cap number is 37. They can't get rid of Matt Ryan.
No, we can't.
Hey, Ruben, that's why you need to look at how the Cowboys restructure contracts where we make sure
don't do that because Elliott don't do that because Elliott has y'all on hold.
No. We got
Not bring that up, Mark.
Listen,
Sterling Shepard restructured his contract, by the way.
You're going into territory. When the Cowboys sign you to these big deals, there's always a clause within your deal for the Cowboys where they restructure your contract to save money. We restructured that, $25 million on the table. We only 30 behind. So once we get rid of Cooper, we right there.
Yo, we only 30 behind. Listen to what you said.
I'm telling you how we freed up 25. I'm explaining to you.
We just restructured our quarterback, but we're only 30 million behind because it's cut it out, Mark.
He's not listening. If I'm 30 behind the cap and my quarterback gives up 25 and I'm about to lose Tank Lawrence, listen. My quarterback is free up 25. I'm about to lose Tank Lawrence, which is 100 and something million. I'm about to lose Mari Cooper, which is another 100 million. And maybe Michael Gallup. I'm not worried about my salary cap because the Cowboys make sure we're never in cap hell ever. Because when we sign you to these long-term deals, we know that in order to sign you to these deals, you're going to have to be able to take a chunk out of that and get your money on the back end. And then when you try to get it on the back end, we release you. So we wouldn't play.
So why are you not getting money from Zeke right now? Zeke is 18 on the book.
Leave Zeke alone.
27.
Leave Zeke alone.
Why you ain't getting money over Zeke?
Why
Leave
Zeke alone.
Look here. 18 million for running back And if you
said
cut him, you're down 27.
David, you leave Zeke alone. You leave that money alone.
I'm just
go ahead, Ruben. Go ahead, Ruben. Go ahead, Ruben. Go ahead,
You
Ruben.
said we need to take corners from y'all. Y'all negative 13 million. We only negative 7. So
you paid Matt Ryan all that money, and you lost your receiver because he betting on games. So y'all really don't have. Yeah, I ain't forget about that. I ain't forget about that.
We need to take pointers from y'all. Even with that money on the books, with Calvin Ridley, we still a negative 7.
Hey,
y'all
Mark,
are negative 13.
Mark, I'm off your Cowboys now. Thank you for transitioning that. Ruben, you got some explaining to do about the Calvin Ridley $1,500 FanDuel account.
It ain't nothing to report about that. He did it. He got to pay the piper, man. He the new Pete Rose, man. He got to pay the piper.
Yo, listen.
Come on,
coming to Ridley's defense, and I've heard this on all the shows, and I actually thought about this before that. As soon as the news broke, if you could suspend Calvin Ridley for a whole year, and the coach decided to take a dive, and he's willing to pay the head coach, the owner's willing to pay the head coach to take a dive, what's the penalty on that? How come it's so quick to suspend the player, but the NFL isn't doing their due diligence to get to the bottom of basically?
You've reached guru status. Wow. I had to cut you off.
That's my first guru status since I've been here, Cello. Unbelievable, man.
I had to give it to him. You was in his bag. You was in your bag just now. I had to give it to you.
It took till after the season for me to get a guru status during basketball season, Rube.
Take what you can get. Take what you can get.
I'm going to take it. I'm going to take what I can get. I just think it's messed up.
You're a guru status and a trash. So at least you ain't get a trash.
That ain't true. I ain't get nobody got a trash tonight. Y'all was on point the whole night. Go ahead, David. We about to wrap it up. Go ahead.
Real quick, right? We want to say, oh, why they not going after Ross for paying a coach to tank? Why we don't going after Cleveland management for having Hugh Jackson tank, right? I'm sorry owners fall underneath a separate line, but these players are in the CBA. These owners are not in the CBA. Those are the owners of the company. So stop trying to lower a standard for Ridley that's been there since the CBA has been around since the 80s. Wow. He should be happy that it's only a year ban and not a lifetime ban, because once upon a time, a coach quarterback bet on games and he got a lifetime suspension. The NFL said, we're only going to suspend you for a year. Come on.
No, that ain't you talking about the wording. Wording says indefinitely for a season. That don't mean he's not going to be gone for just one season. Wow. Look at the wording.
That's a good point.
Barely. Ruben, I'm telling you, back in the 80s, there was an Indianapolis quarterback who
meat potatoes, because we had the
bet on games got a lifetime ban. They suspended this guy for 12 games, but yet we're trying to deflect and make the laws lighter, and then say, oh, well, why not the owners? Well, why not the owners? The owners don't sign a CBA that states that, hey, they can't do X, Y, Z with their organization.
I'm coming to you now.
What's more detrimental to the league? An owner telling the head coach to tank and literally lose the rest of his games and get paid $600,000, or a dude betting $1,500 on FanDuel? I would like to think that the NFL would say, you know what? If you're not going to be competitive every single game and put the best product out for the shield, as an owner, I'm taking away your team and stripping you from even being in the NFL. If I can suspend a player, and I agree with you, he's right. He should get a year ban. He should get 2 years for being stupid and not letting his friend or his cousin or some dude off the street bet for him. But on the bigger stage, if I'm the commissioner of the NFL and I'm sitting there saying, you know what, man, I got an owner asking a coach to tank the season for draft picks. How is that not affecting the integrity of the game even more? Because you're basically having the fans pay for a product that's basically going out there to lose every game.
Okay. All right. Listen, y'all will be here on David real quick because I need to.
I agree with you, David. I agree with you. 2 years is too little.
Go ahead, David. You said protecting the shield, and this is the sad part about this whole argument. The owners are the shield. They're not going to go
Coaches isn't. Owners are, but the coaches is held to the exact same standard as the players because they signed that CBA also. So if the coach outs the owner and he knows if he takes that bribe to basically take these games for $600,000 and he gets caught, it's on him. But since he was smart enough to say, you know what, nah, this dude already trying to do some finagling. He's the guy who's telling me to tank these games. So as the commissioner, I want to look into that because guess what? The shield is the teams. All teams in NFL. One player, yeah, he messed the integrity of it up by showing that he can bet on the game. But it's a lot worse than putting out a bad product and asking your coach to tell these professional players, not even tell them, let's just call messed up plays and stink it up so we can get a top draft choice. That makes the game not even reliable because the coach
we good because we got go ahead Ruben, make your point. I got 1 point on that. Thank y'all both for your excellent points. Go ahead, Ruben, and then I'm about to cut that off and then we're gonna get ready to transition.
I don't care who asks who to do what. If you the dummy to go do it, then you the dummy. You the scapegoat. I don't care who asked you to do it. If you sit there and did it and then protect yourself doing it, you the dummy. You got caught. Ain't no need you to tell on who told you to do it, because one, you ain't got no proof. There's speculations. You know what I'm saying? Now you a snitch on top of a dummy. You a dummy snitch.
Yo, I see the most hilarious thing. Somebody put up somebody made up a fake account and said his FanDuel name was I am Calvin Ridley of the Atlanta Falcons. That was his FanDuel account name. I'm like, that's fake, but it was hilarious that they made it that obvious. Is he gonna snitch on anybody else? Is there anybody else that has taken part in this?
Man, somebody betting. Somebody always betting. Everybody betting. He just a dummy who did it from his own phone.
Mark, you know about that FanDuel, man. So I was cracking up when I seen that.
Everybody bet.
All right, so
he just he just a dummy who used his own phone. Because if he'd used his son's phone or brother's phone, like Ruben said, he wouldn't have never got caught. He was stupid enough to use his own phone.
Man, I'm giving that to my cousin. Hell, bro, go put that 1,500 on it. That's crazy.
I'm not giving it to nobody that can be traced back to me. Family members, nobody.
Facts.
No.
Facts. Hey, Ruben, this Mike, I just gotta get this out because to me the dumbest, really quick. To me, the dumbest thing to come out of him betting. Why not put 1,500 on one team? Why you doing an 18 parlay for 1,500, dog? When you can easily get your money back by throwing 1,500 on one game and say, you know what? If 15 win or lose, I'm gonna get paid on the dog. If I lose, cool. I lose 1,500. He did an 18 parlay, man. You know how hard it is to hit an 18 parlay for $1,500? He's an idiot. I'm glad he's suspended.
He has some insider information. Listen, since we mentioned the owners, obviously we've seen that my guy Cap has aspirations to get back in the league. I'm gonna make this real quick. It's not gonna happen, Cap. Love you, bro. I wish they would open the door, but them same owners that we just talked about ain't happen. It's not gonna happen, bro. You took some of the money. You remember they had an agree. They had to settle with you, so you took some of their money. They absolutely will not let you in. Go ahead, David.
And he getting paid off Nike.
Exactly.
You better hold on because we're talking about this is a bad draft. We're talking about other than Mitchell Trubisky that this is a bad free agency class because Jameis Winston's knee is hurt. This might be the best opportunity for us to see a resurgence. Pittsburgh doesn't have a quarterback.
Haskins is there, man. Y'all gonna stop disrespecting Haskins. Go ahead. You're right.
Pittsburgh doesn't have a quarterback. Tampa Bay doesn't have a quarterback. Seattle doesn't have a quarterback.
San Francisco don't have a quarterback.
They got Drew Lock. Drew Lock might be the man out there. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. Y'all know.
The Niners don't have a quarterback either.
We got Trey
Your boy
Lance.
just had off-season shoulder surgery too.
He gone. He ain't gonna be with us. He about to get traded tomorrow to the Saints and the Colts.
Mike, you don't have you got a quarterback, but you got a young quarterback, man.
Our starter is a 21-year-old who likes to throw the ball long. So I'm looking forward to him.
They say he about to take over regardless.
Yeah, I'm ready for him to take over because I've seen
he
what he can do in a little bit. He likes to go deep. In order for us to challenge defenses, we gotta go deep. The little dink and dunk ain't gonna work no more. We have to go deep.
He's so fastball, Mike. I told you he's a fastball demon.
You and David watch Trey Lance. Just keep that same energy.
I'm telling you, Mr. Fastball. The only difference between him and Kaepernick is that his fastball is a little faster than Kaepernick's, because all he do, you run a 10-yard in, it's coming 90 miles an hour out of this kid's hand. I'm telling you.
He don't throw 10 yards. He like to throw 25, 30 yards. So that's the difference. He don't do them 10-yard routes. He like all his passes is a good 20 yards downfield, which they want to do that to open it up. So, but Jimmy G, I have to say, he did a great job with us. He won games, but we need to move on, and we see what he can do. We need somebody else to see what we can expand that offense. So that's for us. But David, I like that point. This is the best time for Cap. I just think the NFL understands the backlash, because even now, Niner fans, when I go on Niner boards and Niner Facebook pages, any mention of Cap, they get in their feelings as if this man murdered somebody. Today, I'm talking about today. I went in today, and they still like, oh, Cap. I'm like, why y'all so angry? What did he do? He kneeled during the anthem, and y'all still upset, even though the NFL admitted they was wrong for their blackballing. Our fans, they got a hatred towards him. So the NFL.
No, you got racist fans in San Fran. That's what it is.
I talked to them directly. I talked to one directly and had to call him out on his racism because he's stuck on the Joe Montana, Steve Young phase, and they throwing Trey Young out with the bathwater after 3 games. I'm like, dude, he played 3 games. How you gonna throw him out and call him a bust? Oh, because y'all give Jimmy Garoppolo, who was average, and I'm gonna be real, he was average statistically. Y'all gave him all this time, and they had no issue. But then this dude get 3 games, y'all call him a bust. I'm going by the shade of his skin, not the content of his play.
It's only one team on. It's only one team on this panel that never had a black quarterback, but we ain't gonna ask who that is.
We ain't gonna say what team that. Nope, they didn't have a black quarterback. They had a black quarterback. They had a black quarterback as a backup. They had a backup. Anthony Wright.
They drafted a black quarterback.
They did have 2. They had 2.
Who? Cowboys? Quincy Carter. Quincy Carter.
I'm talking about the Giants had Anthony Wright at one point, and they had Geno Smith at one point. So they did have black quarterbacks. They drafted one. They ain't drafted one.
What if we drafted?
Don't give your team a pat on the back, because y'all did not want who y'all got right now. Y'all did not. Y'all.
Hey, I can go back and say, listen, I had Randall Cunningham back there. I had Quincy Carter back there. We keep black quarterbacks, brother. That's nothing new for Dallas. So don't act like that's something brand new for us. We drafted Quincy Carter. We drafted Dak Prescott. We drafted Anthony Wright. Those are dudes we drafted in the draft. Not
about the Raiders. The last time for the Raiders was Jamarcus, right? I don't think y'all had another black quarterback since Jamarcus.
We had tons before him.
Who?
Vince Evans. I just named him.
Oh yeah, that was. Yeah.
Damn, you going way back.
You way back, dog.
Hey,
when I wasn't in grade school, son. Like, I think I was in grammar school. Probably wasn't even in grammar school then. Anyway, man, listen, we done touched on NFL. So free agencies officially begins what day? Is it tomorrow? Is it Saturday? It's supposed to be 16th. So I don't know what the Giants are going to do, if they're going to wheel and deal, or if the Atlanta going to wheel and deal. We need a first-round pick because we don't have one, so we have to – Jimmy G is either going to be a first or a second, so I don't know what we're going to do.
Ain't nobody for us to trade up for this year.
Oh, can I throw this out real quick? Real quick. And I'm going to say this, and I want this to go on the record. This year will be the best draft the Giants have had the last 15, 20 years. You heard it from me first.
I don't know how to
I
take
can
that.
guarantee.
Is that a
I can
compliment? Is it a
guarantee you.
backhanding? I don't.
Listen, no, this ain't a backhand. This is a real compliment. Because of that new regime, I can guarantee you, them two giant first round picks will be starters from day one and be permanent Giants for the rest of their career. Damn near. Watch.
Okay.
I'm scared of that front office, bro.
He's so happy to hear that.
The important rounds or the mid rounds, the 3, 4, and 5 rounds for the Giants.
Yeah, but you got to hit those first two, Cello. And y'all,
Dave Gettleman hit on those
Nah, Gettleman ain't God. You talk about Buffalo.
Hit the mid rounds.
So you're not excited? You're not concerned about the first and second as much as you are the later round, Cello?
I'm not worried about the first round.
Wow.
They're gonna get what they need to get from that.
Okay.
It's the mid rounds. That's why. Listen, wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
That's why when we have all these injuries, we ain't had no players to step up. So we need players that when we get injuries, if it happens, the next man can come up and do his job. You know what I'm saying? So we need to build up this team from those 3rd, 4th, 5th rounds. We hit on first rounders.
Okay.
I'm good with them. That's not the issue. The issue is the mid rounds. Dave Gettleman didn't do a good job on it.
I kind of agree with Cello with that. The only miss we could say, and it's probably because of injuries, is Barkley. The Giants' first round picks have been pretty okay.
And Barkley.
Whoa. Ain't my man from Georgia out the league, that number 1 pick? I don't even know that bum's name, the D-back from Georgia. He's out the pick. Right now, Dexter Lawrence is a
Lorenzo Carter?
No, not Lorenzo Carter. Your cornerback. He's not in the league no more.
DeAndre Baker from Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, but
and Eli Apple, he not with y'all no more. Remember Eli Apple, he's not there no more. Y'all haven't drafted good. I'm not saying you haven't drafted good. You drafted decent players that didn't pan out. The difference is the way Buffalo drafts and the GM y'all got from Buffalo and the coach you got from Buffalo. Buffalo drafts excellent, not good. Buffalo drafts excellent. And that's why I said I'm a little afraid, because if you can literally get 2 stalemate linemen, 2 tackles that'll hold you for the next 10 years, 2 linebackers that might hold you for the next 10 years, a cornerback and a D tackle. It's a lot of combinations you can use because your 2 draft choices are so close. So in my opinion, as a Cowboy fan, from the outside looking in the draft monster that I am, no disrespect to you guys, I'm just telling you that's what I do. And I've been on it since we got knocked out the playoffs.
I know.
The way that it's sitting for y'all and the way that y'all got the new regime, I think y'all going to give my man the controller he needs to be able to nail these 2 draft picks to get y'all back on board, bro. And that's just my personal.
Excellent. Stop right there. We good. Cello, you better make a note of this date, because I don't think I've ever heard Mark give props to your Giants.
That don't mean we're not going to sweep them. I don't want you to think that. Well, we're going to sweep them. I ain't worried about sweeping them, but they'll be way, way better than they was last year. I can promise you that.
We're going to see. All right, so our last thing, man. Thank y'all. David, you was going to say something real quick. Say your point.
No, you're going to what the topic.
You know I'm going to. I'm closing out with that. I got to close out with that just out of respect for that, because it seemed like Fanatics Live tackles what most people don't tackle. And our perspective is totally different than a lot of the pundits out there. And this is one thing that is not being talked about, and we do not understand why. Brittany Griner, WNBA superstar. She was a star in college at Baylor. She's been a star since she's been in the WNBA. Amazing. So what's happening with her is Brittany Griner is being detained in Russia, has been there for 6-7 weeks now, correct? And
a month and a half, I think, something like that.
A month and a half. So what they're saying is Russian customs officials said that a U.S. basketball player, Brittany Griner, had a vape cartridges containing hashish oil in her luggage. And this is over there, it's a big deal. In the States, I guess, they'll just throw it out or whatever, they won't let you. But in Russia, that's a serious offense where you get locked up for that. So my military people, that understands kind of how that work with U.S. and Russia. How you think this gonna work with her being resolved, or in the midst of the Ukraine-Russian stuff, man? Is this they're gonna make an example because they're really not feeling the U.S. anyway? Like, I'm gonna start with Ruben, and y'all military people, and then I'll get y'all. We're gonna close out with this, but how can this be resolved, man? Because they're not budging right now. Go ahead, Ruben.
I see the only way this can be resolved is they asking for some money. That's how I see it can be resolved. Other than that, I don't see how it can be resolved. Because, I mean, over there, they'll send you to jail for if you got a porn DVD in your bag. They strict on everything, overseas. And Will could tell you that as well. Overseas, they are strict on a lot of things that the U.S. just let go by. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I would love for them to let her come home, but she should have knew the rules before she did that anyway.
Yeah, drug charges. They're literally counting it as drug charges, man. That's crazy.
Because they tell you, they brief you before you go overseas. You have to be briefed. You have to go through all kind of hoops so that you know the rules and regulations before you even step foot on their soil.
So someone like her, a public figure like that, and her agents and all of that, they should have known that prior to her coming over there. And so you think she just like purposely tried to get away with it, or it was just something that she forgot was in her bag? Like, what do you think?
I can't speak on her actions, but she has been a problem in the WNBA as well.
Yeah.
She has done some things in the WNBA, that doesn't sit right as well. So I don't know what her thinking was, but I do know this: it was found in her bag, it was hers, and whatever they give her is what she got to do. I mean, I pray that she can make it home. I pray that she can make it home. But
they won't allow any U.S. embassy people to see her. She's been in jail. She's been in court. None. She hasn't had U.S. contact. This is the thing that bothers me probably the most about that situation. Like Ruben said, and it's pretty much known, when you go to another country, they have their own rules and their own regulations, and they make sure that before you step on foreign soil, that if you do A, B, C, and D, there's consequences. A couple of years ago, he was in Korea. He was in North Korea. Took a poster off the wall, ended up in prison. They sent him home in a box. Brittany Griner has the potential of never seeing the United States for the next 10 years because for what she is charged for, it's for 10 years. But the question more we need to ask is, what is your state of mind of thinking that you can bring a vape pen on a flight going to the United States during a war and think that you're smart enough that customs ain't gonna literally check? You're an American going back home during a war and think that you can sneak a vape pen in. What are you gonna do? Can't smoke it on the plane.
Wow.
You can't smoke it on the plane.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
what was the name? What was the name?
I feel sorry for, but your actions also have to take purpose. Let's take just right off the head real quick. Let's take LiAngelo Ball. Goes to Japan, steals a pair of shades from our. Guess what? It took the president to get him out of there. He was going to jail.
Yeah.
So basically, you're telling another country, like Ruben said, let's forget about your rules. We need our American back. But guess what?
Our relationship isn't even great with them right now. David, go ahead, because we got to wrap it up.
No relationship with them. We got sanctions on them.
Horrible. Yeah.
We got
Putin said that those sanctions are like, go ahead, David. It's all you.
Let me explain something to y'all.
Yes.
If there's no conflict between Russia and Ukraine right now, she's home 3.5 weeks ago. Stop. Russia know what they're doing. They're using it as a political ploy. We as the U.S. tried to keep it on the low, so it was not made a big issue during this conflict. But I guarantee you, if that's LeBron James, Patrick Mahomes, or somebody big of stature, it would have been blown up and all over the place. Like, cut it out. This is wrong. I don't care if she tried to sneak it on board or not.
Yeah.
She should not be sitting over there and the jail for 6 months for 6 weeks without the embassy even having contact with her.
Wow.
This is crazy.
Crazy, dude.
Let me just.
Y'all
You gotta
feel
know
like
better, man. You
Y'all
gotta
feel-
know better, though, David. You gotta know better. You gotta know better. Like this, I get what you're saying, but somewhere along the line, you gotta say to yourself, is it worth me putting this vape pen in my luggage? So if they check this luggage, I have the potential to go to jail in Russia? Or could I just wait until I get home? I might not have the Russian hashish, but when I get home, I can find it because I'm Brittany Griner. I'm going to find what I need when I get home. You can't smoke it on the plane. It's going to be underneath the plane the whole flight, man. That's not smart in my mind. She put herself in a predicament where it's hard for anybody now because of what you said, David, and what you said, Ruben, for the United States to even be able to touch her, bro. And I don't see any ending to it. Maybe 10 years from now, but right now she in a tough spot, bro. I wish her well.
I wish her well. Go ahead, Cello. We're gonna close it out. Go ahead, Cello.
What was the name of that show they came out with when that overseas show when cats used to get caught overseas and the stuff they had to go through?
All the time.
Locked up. Yeah. Listen, that right there.
Wow.
Should have warned a lot of us. Sometimes, honestly, sometimes us as Americans, we think we can just go anywhere and do what we want.
That's what it is.
And we don't come over there. We don't study the culture. We don't know what's going on when we go into another country. We just like, oh, I'm American, so I'm just gonna go do whatever I want. Now we gotta be careful with that. These cats and Russians don't play. Even as David says, if it's a political thing. I ain't trying to mess with them cats.
Not them, man. Not Russia. No,
they don't operate like. I ain't trying to mess with them cats.
I done went through customs in my drawers, son. They'd have seen me in my drawers and sneakers, so I could get on that plane and get the hell out of there. Draw sneakers. I would have left everything else. What you got, sir? I got my ticket, some drawers, and some sneakers.
Yo,
they won't let you bring a bottle of water on a plane. What you think they're gonna?
Even if you get, let's say you get high, right? And you was going over there for 30 days. You better be one clean dude for 30 days and come back to. You better be clean for 30 days when you go into Russia. Yeah. Man.
Ruben, go ahead, cause we're about to close. Go ahead, Ruben.
And I want y'all to understand this too. What great importance is she to the U.S.?
She's a WNBA player. That's about it. That I can think.
What great importance? Exactly.
Yeah.
What is she doing for the U.S.? Political wise, anything?
Nothing.
What was Ball when he got caught in China stealing? He wasn't even in the NBA.
Yeah, but it wasn't no war with China.
They said he wasn't even stealing.
I'm sorry.
He wasn't stealing.
Yeah.
They said he wasn't stealing.
Yeah.
So that probably what got them out of there because they wasn't stealing.
They got video of her situation. They've been broadcasting it over there and everything. It's
right.
Bad.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
It's bad.
She's no importance, especially at this time. Like you said, there's a war going on. She is of no importance. There's somebody else locked up over there with her too.
It's a couple. Yeah. You're right. Yep.
So, what importance is she, especially when she was a problem in the WNBA for her first couple of years? She's been a problem child. Man. She's been a problem child. Domestic abuse with her wife, all kind of stuff went on. You know what I'm saying? So they looking at her like.
Why she went over there?
She played. They in the off season they play overseas because it's more lucrative contracts. So she was playing overseas.
It's only one congressman, and this congressman happened to come from Baylor, and he's the only one who's really kind of fighting for her. I mean, she put herself in a predicament during the time when the relationship between the United States and Russia is strained. You know, and right now Russia's not really trying to hear being friends with too much of nobody. Yeah. So they can care less about Brittany Griner. And I want to ask David and I want to ask Ruben, since you guys serve, when you go to these other countries and you break their laws, do they really care if you're American, or do they care more about you just breaking that law?
They care more that you're an American and you coming over there breaking their laws.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Wow.
So he answered the question.
There's been incidents where guys came on the ship with us, broke a law, and didn't come back on the ship with us. They had to stay over there before whatever action and stuff transpired.
And guess what? And guess what? The ship leaving. We are not leaving.
Leaving.
What?
So do they feel disrespected when an American goes to their country and breaks their laws? Do they think that they feel that we think we better than them and we're above their laws?
Wouldn't you think that?
Yeah.
The only reason I'm asking because you guys been to these other countries, so I can only I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying from experience, y'all guys experience, since y'all know guys who got dropped off and the ship left them where they was at.
Yeah. All right, we got go ahead, Ruben. Make your last point. David, make your last point, and we wrapping this up completely. Like we done. Thank you, Mark. Go ahead, Ruben.
They don't like us overseas. They don't. You know why?
There you
because
go.
of our boss before us, they go over there. Now, let me tell you, before now, back in the day, military used to go overseas and break all kind of laws and still come home.
Wow.
They put a stop to that because the military is more political now. It wasn't political back then. It's more political. Everything is a part of politics now. So you can't sneeze around here without you getting thrown out of the military now. So, you know what I mean? It's a different time and era. Plus, there's a war going on.
That's true.
But, so she got a double-edged sword going on.
It's bad.
Thank
you, Ruben. Go ahead, David. And then
I can't speak on too much of it because I'm still in the military. I'm just
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm just saying, just be careful when you go overseas.
Listen, in that case, I will follow your lead.
I'm retired. They can't do nothing to me. I'm retired.
Exactly. In a statement, Griner's agent said she did not dispute the reports of a client's detention. She said, "We are aware of the situation with Brittany Griner in Russia, and we are in close contact with her legal representation in Russia, her family, her teams, and the WNBA and the NBA. So hopefully it'll all work out, but it's just not, the timing is horrible. So, we'll keep you in our thoughts and prayers that you get home, man, because this got to be scary right now, man. I don't care.
Our prisons are like a sweet compared to theirs.
I can only imagine, dude. So, and she's sticking out like a sore thumb. So, man.
I'm very glad we wrapping it up and we bring up Double J's illegitimate daughter. So I'm glad we wrapping it up. I don't want to talk about it.
I seen that she's like, that's my daddy. So we gonna see how that play out. But you ain't getting no pass for that. And we can take Ridley off his gambling. We gonna talk about Double J. Well, no, all you gotta do is see if she got any features that look like him. That's his daughter.
They just got the same skin color. Leave them alone, bro. That's it. Stop that.
She got a distinct face. So if she got an old man face and a young person body, I would know that's his daughter.
No proof of that. No proof of that.
We done. Alleged. Listen, Fanatics Live for the fans. This was our extended version. We went an extra time because we wanted to cover everything. We gave the NBA a significant amount of time. A really good conversation came from that. And man, I can't watch the replay of this because it was really intense, but it was hilarious and it was some great points. So tonight, man, I gotta give it to all y'all, man. You've reached guru status. Wow. Y'all were on point. I ain't had to mute nobody. Y'all was dead, man. So applause to y'all, man. Fanatics Live for the fans, by the fans. Let your people know Fanatics Live comes on every week. You want to be on the show? You say, you know what? I like what they was talking about. I got some insight too. I can talk some. Yeah, you want to come on here? Know your facts. You can't just come on here not knowing nothing. You got to get trolled if you do. So if you come on here, just understand how we operate. Follow us on Facebook at Fanatics Live. You can follow us on Instagram at Fanatics Live. But you want to be on the screen, be one of the panelists, you got to earn that. You got to see what you can do. All right? So listen, man. Y'all brothers have a blessed night. Love y'all. Excellent job tonight. Y'all be blessed, man. Salute to you. I'll see you next week, David. He putting his Cowboy stuff up. We got the draft coming up, so you all already know we're gonna be doing our brackets and our mocks and all of that. We got all of that coming. Mark is waiting. Hey, Mark,
go.
we're gonna tackle it before the month is out. It's coming. Don't worry, we ready. And then next week we got the NCAA to talk about. We got to touch on March Madness as that's getting ready to come. So, yeah, man. All right. Salute to y'all. Have a good night, man. God bless.
Bless, brothers.